Go on. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Is going to be just as exciting as what we saw last time around. My name is Thunder Explosion, and I will be your host throughout the entire season. And we decided to change up our casters a little bit this week, give you something a bit special because we have Bobby himself joining us alongside Infinity to get through all of the action here today. Bobby, welcome.
What's up, Lauren? What's up, Sunset? What's up, E? Bots or Lux? Awesome. Live stream because we're watch party.
Excited to be back and getting to
we're watch party, man.
Action
of course.
In North America, very much looking forward to today.
Yeah, Brody. I mean, it's a new week, which means a new group, new challengers here, ready to step up to the plate.
Yeah, really excited to get a new group. Bobby and I were having a conversation already about kind of the competitiveness of the two groups. Group B looks a hell of a lot better. Also, I want to say, really glad I got Bobby back because I don't have to deal with Ton this week. It's great.
It's going to be fantastic, all right? I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do on the casting side of things because we've got some really fun games in store. But if you guys missed what happened last week or you want to keep up to date with everything that we've got coming
up. So, bro, how's it going? I'm shooting the ARP W. Welcome, Mice. Welcome, 1.4. When Snapdragon tournament? What?
/Snapdragon Pro Series.
What?
You can join our community, talk all things Call of Duty Mobile, and continue, of course, to get all of those updates. But if you guys
Call of Duty Mobile Challenge Series, NA, Day 2. Snapdragon Series, Pro Series.
This works. We obviously started things off a couple weeks ago with our open finals around the challenge season. We've completed 1 week
of the
challenge season in North America, which means we've also eliminated a team last week. Sad already, but it happened. Now we're in week 2 of it.
We're
going to do it all over again, but we're talking about Group B. It's because it's GSL style. Our 8 teams in the region are broken down into 2 groups of 4. We saw Group A last week, and we will be seeing Group B this week. And at the end of it all, our top 4 overall will be the ones battling it out in our challenge finals there on April 5th and 6th. So the competition just continues to heat up as we move through everything, Bobby. And second stage of the competition, I guess, if you will, means there's even more money on the line for our competitors.
Yeah, obviously it's the reason that a lot of these guys are competing. Nothing to scoff at. $2,200 for that first place spot. Top 4 is where you're really going to get the bulk of that money. But every single team here, they want the money, but they also want to improve. They want to get better at Call of Duty Mobile. It should be interesting to see what this next generation of competitors looks like, especially here in the North American region where we've seen a lot of new names pop up.
Yeah, and we talk about that a lot. This is not the end. I mean, getting through the challenge, even the challenge finals, that's not the end. We still have multiple competitions throughout the year that our teams are going to be fighting to try and make their way into. So this is all part of a much larger competitive ecosystem here for the SPS. But before we get into all of the action that we have here for today, we'll give you a little bit of a refresher on what happened last week. This is that Group A that I was just talking about when we were taking a look at the format. And this is the results that we got. Okay, you can see we have our teams alive there in the upper bracket. We won't be able to see on Dreamers at Louds until next time around. We're going to be focusing on Group B, but at the end of the day, Brody, it was Rebel versus Nexus, and in a very close 3-2, Rebels were eliminated.
Yeah, kind of sad to say goodbye in memoriam here, but see you later, Rebels, because you got tucked in this series. They started the series actually pretty strong on the whole, right? You can see that at the beginning of the best of 5, and they managed to eke Nexus out in the Hardpoint.
Yeah, every game was close besides the last game.
Search and destroy, but as we got to the back half of the series, I think Nexus became significantly more comfortable. They managed to pull off that round 5 raid control victory and a close Hassie and a Hardpoint, but by the time we got to standoff search and destroy, it was already game over. Nexus were feeling themselves. They were playing super duper aggressive.
When you're 10 minutes, huh?
Number 5,
What are you talking about? You asked when is the NA Snapdragon tournament when we're watching it. Now you're asking when's my tournament. What do you? I don't have a tournament.
And look at names on the roster from Nexus. You guys will recognize a couple of them, such as Dicey and Excellence.
A
couple of new names on that roster as well, all of which I think impressed.
Not speaking my language.
For Rebels, I'm a little bit sad that we're going to lose some of these names again. Names like Legacy and Nas, people who have played in Snapdragon Pro Series in seasons past. To not have those guys move forward in the competition is unfortunate, but ultimately,
what's up, Golden Pizza?
Reverse swept in the way that these guys did. it kind of deserved to not be moving forward. On the other hand, Nexus, they held strong, coming off a 3-0 loss at the start of the day versus Lalix of any team.
It
It was super unfortunate.
my thing on.
Rebels who got eliminated.
Realize that.
Provided us with some action there to close out the day, but now we're looking at Group B here, Bobby, and this is a pretty stacked group.
Yeah, no question about it. It's a couple teams.
OM versus ARP, NA Fallout versus STY.
Has a lot of the top players that have been.
Have you played for Trev in the tournament?
Time, I think, especially you look at the top teams from last year: Envy, Washi, Vague, Raballo, Jez. It's a stacked roster. On the other side, you got ARP, who actually was the team that ended up eliminating Bobby Bucket's Dino Nuggets from the competition. So they are a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely.
Yo, Bobby. Yeah, Bobby's back. Bobby's casting today. Hopefully, he casts more days.
More sad. I was so ready to watch you play here in the challenge season, Bobby. Okay, ARP. They're my enemies now. They might not like it, but it's just how it is.
I'm rooting for them because the better they do, the better that makes Bobby Bucket's Dino Nuggets look. So I'm all for ARP.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We'll take a look at the schedule here. It'll be reflected the same as you guys saw in that.
Are you serious?
Starting things off with that first upper bracket match between OnMythic and ARP, and then we'll be moving down into NA Falloffs versus Stylum, and then of course what we'll be watching will be the same thing we did last time around. We'll be going down to that lower bracket, and the two teams that lost their round 1 match will then battle it out to try and stay alive in that lower bracket. Whoever loses will be eliminated here today. We will be sending one team home at the end of our 3 matches. So once again, it's going to be quick and dirty. So hopefully our teams are ready to get into all of the action. But let's start talking about it. Okay, you guys know how all this works. You saw the schedule. So chat, you should be ready to dive into it. Match number 1, OnMythic and ARP. Brody, talk to me a little bit about OnMythic.
Yeah, OnMythic is a roster we got to watch during Open Finals. They managed to qualify via that method, and looking towards the names on the roster, not familiar with a lot of them coming into the season, but I think certainly coming off the back of the Open Finals tournament, they did impress. Shout out to Badu, by the way, who I think is on that roster as a different name. He was really showed up. These guys, I think, on the whole, coming from Mexico and Venezuela, I think are going to surprise a lot of teams, but whether or not they can surprise ARP, different story.
His name is Wild. I mean, it's just a name. It's just a team name, you know. It's not like a org name or anything like that. It's just a team name because you can't figure out any names, I guess. So.
That was leading up to the season considered to be NA's last hope, so I'm interested to see if he gets thrown into the rotation. Across the board, a lot of experience, a lot of talent, so there's absolutely no question. From what I've heard, obviously we did take them down in the Search and Destroy, and they were talking about it afterwards, and they say they pretty much never scrim Search and Destroy. So I think if there's going to be a way for OnMythic to win this series, it's probably got to be through those searches.
Okay, well, we did see that happen quite a bit.
Is it the roster for what team?
Different level of competition here in our challenge season. So we'll take a look at the final piece of our puzzle, and we'll see what our teams have.
Who's the roster for what team?
Their picks and bans and what maps.
I don't know the Zach rosters, but I know some names. I can give you some names, but for what roster?
We talk about that a lot.
What team?
Seasons happen pretty quickly, so our squads don't have too much adjustment time to make those changes.
Who are you rooting for? Everybody.
To adjust.
Yeah, they did. So they will have seen a lot of the play from week 1. Some of those new maps thrown into the rotation. One new map here in this rotation that Ton and I have been enjoying quite a lot is Coastal Search and Destroy. Now, if my memory serves me correctly,
find something real quick.
This was one of the maps that Bobby Bucket's Dino Nuggets managed to take away in their matchup versus ARP during Open Finals. Yeah, I'm a super fan, mate. Don't you worry. I remembered it. So it's interesting that it's the game 5. If we go there, obviously, if they're going to lose to Bobby Buckets, they could definitely lose it versus OnMythic.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. I think if you're ARP, you want to win by map 4, if at all possible. We see that raid there for the control. That's one that I'm expecting we're going to see a lot throughout the season, just because the 2 other control maps are very new, and a lot of these teams are not going to have nearly as many reps on it, but ARP also did really well on that Hacienda Hardpoint up against us, so I'm not going to be surprised to see that in the rotation for them. They felt very, very comfortable there.
All right. Well, now that we know what to expect, chat, let us know your thoughts as well. Who do you think is going to be taking home match number 1 and will stay alive in that upper bracket, waiting to play another day and compete for one of those spots in our challenge finals? Because match number 1 is ready to get underway. So, Bobby, Brody, let's get into it.
Cheers, Lauren. Ready to get into our first match of the day. God, it feels good to be casting with you again, mate. And it's going to be a fun one to cast as well. OnMythic and ARP, two teams with very different stories here. Let's start a little bit with OnMythic, because I believe we were looking over the roster trying to get a feel for both of these two teams.
Any follow-ups? That, I believe the people who are on that roster is Rabalo, Veg, Envy, and I think that's all I know. Rabalo, Veg, Envy. I don't know the whole roster though. Impossible Priest to stream on you? I got you.
Was a major contributing factor, phenomenal objective player, and just a really good all-around slayer. So he was kind of a dark horse heading into the competition. He caught a lot of people
that's
by
better.
surprise,
If not, I can make it better.
To see what the players around him are able to do for this OnMythic squad, because once again, there's a lot of players that we have not really seen compete yet in this challenge series.
Yeah, and OnMythic has a lot of those players. They do have 3 players, as a matter of fact, that have not qualified for a challenge season before. But they did, technically speaking, last season, didn't actually manage to get all the way through.
Did they show the rosters?
Dakota and Indra. They qualified for Season 5 NA under the team. I'm going to butcher this so much, mate.
I don't know if they showed the roster, but we're going to see it again.
But they didn't end up playing in the actual competition itself. So,
OM? I don't know anybody from OM. I don't think so.
To go up against off the start of this game. It's going to be ARP Gaming, and if they're the team to take out Bobby Bucket's Dino Nuggets, well, they're a team everyone's got to be
ARP got Coldest, Prizo, Swish, Chelsea, and Unrivaled.
Smokes out the wazoo. That's something we've seen a lot of these teams doing, is just, especially on the
Doofus is live. What's up, Dior? What's up? Go. Welcome.
Down as many smokes as you can and see how much time that you can get before the other team reinforces. Looks like neither.
So we got 2 Uzis, 2 XM4s, and then 1 19 for the ARP. Why not any Odin?
Yeah, map control not that great on the whole here for the opening of this hardpoint. You can already see OnMythic starting to get players looking towards that P2 side. Salome is going to pick up a big gunfight and a second one for that rotational battle as well. You are going to give up the last 10 seconds of
like XM4 is good for recoil, but like
you can definitely chain this.
You could have 10 in 19, which is, you know,
it looks like OnMythic have that set up
better damage and recoil. The same thing as XM4, but like, is he gonna punch? I was gonna say.
Player with the boxing gloves right around the corner, not going to be easy to deal with. She's going to get shut down right there.
Oh, time 19 Biskin, the freak.
Strong opening hold for OnMythic. Louder push right here, water push, Coldest, not going to be able to find anything, and it seems like the restriction of the damage attachment on the USS.
Yeah, let's not use the best AR in the game right now.
Yeah, it was one of those conversations I was looking to have with a lot of people when that kind of ban was announced. What was it, like 2 days before the start of the action? And I was kind of curious, like, are we going to see more Fenix in the conversation? Maybe is it actually going to do anything to remove the USS-9? No, it's not really for the most part. Has made things a little bit easier for Odin and Type 19.
I wonder why he's using this skin though.
Looking to use those, try and hold them towards the hard point here for the moment. A couple of players still looking to hit from driveway side, and unfortunately Unravel just has a little bit too much to deal with there. It is a full yellow kill feed, and that is great for
why they call this use it off
we look towards rotation
for like 10 seconds.
Big potential battle about to go down. Unravel is already there. 3 players from OnMythic trying to get past. They're at least going to get past Indra. But are they going to be, or Kryzo, excuse me, are they going to be?
They have 2 useless players right now. Looking. Okay, there, 1 died. And now he got office.
Unravel surviving here for a moment, and he's bought enough time for the rest of the roster to get some time.
We're starting to see those operators charge. Indra pulling out the death machine. That's an operator.
They're not using no US anymore. We will have to see in CDM, man. CDM is what is it, March 20? That's day 1, I believe. Yeah, scrims are different, but we gotta wait for CDM and see. It's possible, you know.
And that's a good
but
opening push for ARP, but
gotta wait for now.
be able to convert it into any hard point time.
And you've at the very least taken the most operators off the board here, but now you've got to follow up with kills.
Oh wait, I forgot to switch to face cam.
Chagabu's not going to make this any easier.
I'm done. I'm back. It's just first game, you know, very first map of the stream. But
scrap time for ARP.
yeah, we got, you know.
To be honest, if you're OnMythic, you're super happy with how that went. You got about 40 to 50 seconds off of that hard point.
So it's a warm up. I'm not used to it yet. You know what I'm saying? First game.
This becomes all the more of an important rotation for ARP. Unravel's going to whip the Annihilator out to do some serious damage. Second kill in front of him, and he will find it. How many more kills can Unravel find? Nice nade over the top from Salome to take him out. And now OnMythic looking for the contest.
And it's going to remain Mixie over here on P4. Smokes everywhere. Just tuck into a corner. Stay alive as long as you possibly can. We got a claw coming out for Dakota. 1 HP does survive. Doesn't last very long, though, as he drops. And
I have a Discord ping, but it's not showing on my phone.
As I say that, Swish finds 3 equals in hand. He's still going.
Oh, the dumb one.
Gonna drop, but at least find some breathing room for ARP. Who find a way to scrap their way back into this.
What's up, Mega?
Shagaboo not going to be able to hold the line right there. And Unravel.
We're gonna see if the US nerf is noticeable. Trying to show everyone no US mag. That'd be interesting.
It has been very, very
it's noticeable. The no mag is noticeable. Or yeah, the US without the mag is noticeable. It's like a slight difference. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as the DRH OTM mag. You can see a difference, but it's still good. You know, it's still like decent or good, whatever word you want to use. But it's not completely broken. You know, like how the US with the mag is. So classic. What's up, Paven? Welcome. Good afternoon.
Trying to be a nuisance up top. Actually going to find 3 kills here. For ARP, it looked like for a moment they're going to be able to get some modicum of control, but now Badu is completely destroying them. War Machine out for Badu. More kills now coming through as well. It's so easy for Badu.
With the position of those spawns, he could not have been any more perfectly placed. He's going to be able to earn the pred there, and that has kept the hard point clear.
Okay, Coldest finally, did he finally switch to a Odin? Does that pick up? Better find out. Pretty noticeable for mid and longer range spawners lower bottom. NA follows plays after the series. We have 3 series today. We're gonna have 2 upper semifinals series and then 1 lower bracket. So whoever loses this will face the loser of the NA Fallout series, I believe. Green from Mars? Nice.
Was mitigated, as you said, by ARP.
Okay, so it looks like Coldest did switch to Odin finally.
Last War Machine pellet
pretty sure.
Badu now down as well.
I was shocked. There was no Odin.
Kills being made here for ARP. They're about to take the lead away from OnMythic. Kryzo for a couple of kills. One last player to do something here. Dakota through the smoke tries to use it to get in, but the pre-fire from ARP is so damn annoying. One player does manage to slide on through, but look at the investment of operators out for ARP right now. That is what, 3 or 4 in towards this hard point. They know this is a crucial point in the game.
They really want to make a full 60 out of it.
Rotate. What are you guys doing? Okay, there you go.
4 players already on rotation for
okay, number 4, you go. Rotate.
Opportunity for them to fight back. They need to maintain that top side office control, but Unravel popping the Annihilator. Gonna see what he can clear out. 2 players on the point. 2 trying to maintain those spawns. We've yet to see any damage come through for that Annihilator, but they do manage to take down the Death Machine from the hands of Indra. So even though that Annihilator's only found, I think, 1 kill so far, looks like it's been enough for OnMythic to hold on right here. The pred's gonna drop for Coldest, but I don't think he managed to find any kills in Dakota's. Goes big with the claw. That's gonna be 3. 1 more player left to deal with, but they've got those good spawns, and he's gonna be able to earn full streaks.
Dakota, are you kidding me? That is a full white. Players coming off the spawn now. At the very least, they're not going to have to deal with that. That Predator missile comes straight down from Dakota. OnMythic want this scrap time. 20 seconds still left to fight for. They're going to send for it. Pildora pre-aimed and pre-fired by Coldest. Smoke's now down. That's going to give OnMythic the chance to hit the contested.
I was just ran the same spot.
For those players, it is pretty good.
I think he damaged both of them.
Still hanging about. It is a 2 versus 2 towards this point. Swish and Chryso will find the kills and will find that scrap. So we're basically all even Stevens. Moving in towards the next hard point. Pildora cleans house on New.
OM is not playing bad.
We'll get first look at this next hill.
They've got 3 players set up. One takes topside control. That's Indra finding a big kill on the inside right here. Swish in response. What's he able to find? Nothing. Fire comes up short right there as he leaves the player 1 shot. And OnMythic doing a phenomenal job holding the line right here. They flip those spawns out as well. It's going to leave ARP coming from water side, but over top the heady. Swish is going to find one. His nade connects for
that was huge, but he kind of... He did the right play, but he didn't position it right.
Perfect hold from OnMythic so far.
Yeah, and Dakota's going to follow up with a
Like, he was showing his body was like kind of exposed. And I think he was also like rushing it, you know?
You can definitely tell
you could just like, you know, tap fire or like shoot them a couple times and then not peek just as a distraction. Everyone's same patch as us? Yes. He's just looking for the stream. The stream is on the Commable Esports channel or it's on the Snapdragon channel, I believe.
But will get shut down. For the most part here, ARP are winning the fights. Indra just trying to play his life towards the kill, buy some time for the team, but that's not going to happen. So ARP, good first hold here towards P1. Nice kills coming up from Cole.
Good hold. You guys are still in this game. You guys can come back.
That's going to be part
just got to get some P1 points, and then you got to get the rotation of P2.
Value off the operators that they haven't seen so far. 4-piece from Coldest, definitely a good start, but Salam on the top side. Sparrow's gonna go big, finds 3 before he's taken down. Pildora pulling out the equalizers right here, and OnMythic back in control of
pulling the equalizers for P1. Interesting.
Give up control for free as Pildora's trying to play his operator, and that could come back to bite him if we start to see
he
snowball this one a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of damage, but no kills.
Yeah, you gotta get P2. They gotta make sure they get P2. And number 4 is going to freaking arches. Why are you going to arches? You're giving them P2.
Yeah, I definitely would have liked to have seen a little bit better usage of the equalizers there. Right? I mean, you've got
this guy spawned well.
For the next hard point, because this is where everything.
Yeah, but they won their gunfights. ARP won their gunfights.
They do have 3 in the back pocket, and I suggest that OnMythic bring them out almost immediately here. Badu first to do so. War Machine out to play. Tagabi trying to play their life inside the hard point. Not going to happen. 2 from the front. Shut down. Indra with the Death Machine also in the play. OnMythic, they've broken through.
Oh, they read those spawns to perfection. The second that they flip, he looks, starts.
ARP has to be trolling.
Death Machine and War Machine shots. And right now, ARP are scrambling. No control.
Well, let's see. Can they break this point?
Push through white, but they're gonna read it with the Death Machine. Kill comes through, and only 10 more.
No, they have to put their operators.
This opening map, we see full investment right here.
You gonna stream CDM? Hopefully. It's not always 100% because you know I wake up with headaches and all that stuff, and I would try. You know.
Yeah, that was a perfect.
Best thing I can say, I will try. I do want to, you know. Look at, they're not even rotating. Rotate. Some of you rotate. Now you don't need all 4 of you guys on front.
Came out for 10 seconds of scrap time. You now have nothing as far as the rotation is concerned. OnMythic will be the first team to touch. How close are those spawns for ARP? Coldest in the back lines, 3 players now going to run, sprint towards the hard point. Dakota and Salome, they're there ready to meet him. Flanking play from Unravel is all that ARP have left in the back pocket. Unravel going to find Indra, but no more than that. Swish can't touch the point.
Look.
And OnMythic to meet
through them to take this. He are
Adu first point, because this is where everything.
Where's this show?
They could potentially end things a little bit. A lot of damage, but no kills.
Look at 10 seconds of the point. This guy decides to go arches. Why you go arches? You have nobody playing for P2. Why are you going arches? There's no reason to. All your teammates are right here. Why are you going arches? It just made no sense.
Maybe a little bit of a lack of chemistry for this ARP squad as well, who is definitely throwing some new players into the rotation.
Yeah, I think just really a couple of moments for me in that game where ARP kind of let the game slip somewhat. I think, you know, especially towards P4 in that second set, it was a money kill from OnMythic, really the biggest hold we saw from either of the teams in the game. Phenomenal operators uses out of them. And on the flip side, you go towards P2 on that final set. And granted, I think you kind of have to invest something in that moment to salvage the game. You're going to lose the game if you don't. You've already got Swish on the flank. Like, Swish is enough to do something.
Maybe Hacienda is a...
Didn't need any more. Using 3
Hacienda is a...
high and dry towards the rotation, and OnMythic will take that all day long. So
it might be the map. Hacienda's... I'm not a fan of Hacienda, you know? But
ARP, excuse me.
Maybe it's just the map. It could be the map.
In that game, Badu once again the highest.
Let's go. Let's see.
But got to give a shout out to Indra. You said it right. I mean, albeit doesn't have the best KD in the game, over 2 minutes and 26 seconds inside the hardpoint is playing the OBJ.
Yeah, and he's doing the dirty work. Obviously, it's not the glamorized role, but it was a big reason that they were able to get the win right there. And he played a huge role there, huge role in the event that we casted last weekend. And I'm interested to see what he can do now heading into those other modes. Did see some struggles in the search and destroy and the control, but Tunisia is a good place to be. Haven't seen a whole lot from either of these squads there. But I do think that they've at least got to be feeling confident taking map 1 and knowing that their opponent is far from a S&D specialist team.
And for the upcoming tournament,
I wasn't sure, you know, what
I don't think it's worth a ban. I don't think it's worth a ban.
The fact that they're not really scrimming it. And I'll be fair, like a search and destroy, at least in mainline Call of Duty, is not something that teams generally speaking scrim, right? It only ever comes out in tournaments because search and destroy strategies are something.
I don't think it's worth a ban. I think there's better maps to ban. Hacienda is just like, maybe sometimes it could be confusing for some.
Search and destroy has always been a game mode in which teams scrim the least, so I'm not necessarily surprised, but I do think here in this matchup it is going to affect them because you're right. Like, you are now 1-0 down in this series. You can't really afford to go ahead and lose to the search and destroy because the chances of reverse sweep not that high. They don't happen that often, albeit they did against Rebels last week. But that's not the point. We're probably not going to get one here in this series. We are going to get a Tunisia search and destroy, though.
Let's see how this plays out. Bookstore? There's a bookstore there.
Yeah, they should at least have the reps right.
Never seen the word bookstore
like
there.
This has been all over COD search and destroy for quite a while right now. Opening up on the offensive side, typically.
Let's see. OM got 2 snipers. They got unvulnerable sniping.
So they can find a couple of rounds here.
But is there any comment from the main? How do you like to see COD level?
Flood through mid right here. Swish gonna look over toward the B side, and it looks like
I don't really care about the maps like that. I just want COD maps, basically.
Be able to find the kill off that opening sniper shot. He's gonna get taken down, and that's a perfect opening for ARP.
If it's a COD map in any other COD, then like I want it in COD mode, basically. I guess.
Tunisia search and destroy done. Getting that bomb down on A. Nade over the top. Does actually tag Swish, so they're gonna have to play their life hit off the reset.
Yeah, MG42.
OnMythic will take this slow. Wait for some potential overchow from ARP. Cryzo sitting in an off angle. Not something that Badu will necessarily check here. And again, OnMythic are playing this one so slow. You got to go at some point here. You can't just continue to sit in this situation. Finally, the hit now starting to come through. Badu keeping an eye out for some of the players trying to garner some information. There's the play call made. Pildora up top will find one. Now looking for more, but you get bullied by the last 2 players in Swish and Cryzo. And that is a great round of search and destroy. Getting into the site for ARP is everything.
And that was a beauty of a setup right there
for that Beanie Man. Yeah. If it's from the main COD,
but allowed them to get the information.
if it's on the main COD, then like I want it in combo, you know? If it was a competitive map in main COD, then I want it, you know,
information does get relayed to the rest of the squad. 2
in
players
combo. Hey, Lux, I just forgot. Once again.
First engagements, unusual spot to have a shotgun, but as long as Badu can stay.
I usually put the cam in the middle, but I'm forgetting. When I put it in the middle when the game starts, and then top left when intermission, all that stuff.
ARP just looking for something, just looking for some kind of way in towards the site. It's so difficult. OnMythic have done a stellar job at draining a lot of time off the clock. There is more in each search and destroy round in Call of Duty Mobile, so ARP do have a little bit more than you would usually expect to play.
No AR for OM?
Still here from ARP.
I mean,
that's going to give OnMythic the idea.
You don't really need.
Here, but it won't be long
like you have 2 snipers, you have 1 SMG, you have a MG42. I guess in the MG42, I don't. It's for wall bangs. Yeah, he just did a wall bang middle and a shotgun. The shotgun one is interesting, but let's see how he does.
You're not going to get a second chance. ARP are not going to let that happen. 35 seconds on the clock here. This rock's going down.
And the patience paid off right there. Swish has first point of contact on the top side with Dakota. The
Like
MG42 absolutely
that right there. He has MG42, you know. Basically AR.
Get the bomb down right here. One player's lower mid.
Shotgun just got a kill right there. Shotgun got a double kill. Like, you don't need an AR. You have two snipers. You have an MG42. You have an SMG. You have a shotgun. It works. It's not like, you know, it's not like a respawn, you know.
From OnMythic, and a bit of a fumble, I gotta say, from ARP, right? You get into the site, you get those first 2 kills. Get the bomb down. There's no real reason to get over aggressive in the way that OnMythic do. You're in a 5 versus 3. That is a hell of a fumble in that round from ARP. Maybe the lack of scrims is showing up here in round number 2. But a situation we should now be familiar with. ARP poking and prodding a potential A push. Pre-fire galore for the MG42.
It is as it needs. It's not, you know.
Fire it for the entire round and still wouldn't.
Yeah, US is basically AR.
Yeah, it's... People might be caught off guard by an LMG being taken out.
He didn't have to.
Oh my God, what a shot out of Pildor. Huge first.
Oh, wait, no, he didn't. Oh, he didn't. Same. Never mind.
Here on Tunisia, part of the
So he did. I thought he was just trying to leave that corner.
So there's a lot of different spots that you can check. Badu, shotgun. Pretty much the perfect spot is Kryzo looking for that first contact. Swish slides through. He's gonna drop. So is
you don't need it here.
Get picked apart right here, and just like that,
they have a good setup. It's just they gotta play the S&D right. That's what. That's what's happening.
To do to find anything here.
But that's like the issue. Whatever, you know. It's all about playing the S&D right.
They're getting tucked back very far into a corner if you're ARP, and you've got to commit to a point at some point. Chelsea can be able to find one.
That guy did not have to push up.
Could be the opening.
Is he a sniper? He was a sniper. Why is he pushing up like that?
This is the high mobility duo that during season 5 did not win a map, and well, they're not going to win a gunfight here. Chagabu goes down. Time to see something special from Coldest. What have you got on the menu? Apparently absolute hoodoo, because there's not going to be a 1 versus 3 for Coldest there. OnMythic, basics on point. They take the round.
Yeah, they're playing it right with the setup they have.
It's looked pretty disconcerted from ARP since that first round. I think a lot of their success there was just catching OnMythic off guard with that opening mid push, and ever since they've taken a more passive approach, they've pretty much gotten picked apart at every turn. Get information for Pildora right there, but Unravel through the smoke's going to be able to find one, so they do find that map control forward. Got to deal with Indra on the opposite side, but if they can find that pick, it could be huge. He does his job, takes down one. Salam finds another, and man advantage goes the way of OnMythic again. Dakotas finds one, and Chagabu all alone drops. Is now OnMythic. 3 rounds in a row going their way.
And again, the fundamentals for ARP really lacking here in Search and Destroy. If you're going to get control of the site, you have to clear it. Like, you can't just sit there on the site and hope that the players that are still at the back of B don't push you, because they're going to here at this level of the Snapdragon Pro Series. So OnMythic making the best of the situations that are being handed to them on a golden platter right now. ARP once again in a situation that they have not been able to break previously. All of their wins so far in terms of gunfights have come off these B pushes. A has not been successful whatsoever and won't be off the start of this round. Pildora with the second shot. Chagabu will be grateful for the easy trade. 4 versus 4 though does not make it any easier to get into this site.
And they're holding a cross right here, but can't really check any of those crucial angles. But Badu overextends. He's going to get taken down right there, and the LMG taken out of the equation. So now OnMythic, no map control right here, and the pressure on for ARP.
Good name. I think I blew up in there.
Right here, Swish going to take some damage from the nade. Stays alive, and the pressure on to Salam to find that opener. Kryzo's going to drop. Now into a 2v3.
Still going to get into the site, though. Might well have taken one of the players down. Doesn't make it any easier, but the Tundra is a godly weapon. Even more so in the right hands. Oh, not going to get the shot off as Swish takes him down. Now just down to Indra. Slide out does not work, and ARP overwhelmed for the first time. They actually managed to get in a sight.
And the thing to keep in mind is it is much easier to hold a defensive site than it is to break one. So the fact that ARP have been able to find 2 rounds already here on the offensive side, you would think should bode well for them in some degree or another. Once again, very split defensive setup. It's going to be a full send on over to B. Utility going over the top. And the pressure really on for Salam to find at least one frag right here. Indra there for assistance if he needs it, but that is not a good spot to be. They're going to storm, and that's going to be 2 players dropping already. Bomb goes down, and ARP bouncing back in this one as they've now got 5v3 to hold the retake.
So difficult for OnMythic to pull this one off.
That was a W
Nice
name.
head at the top from Vadu though. Makes things significantly easier. Coldest though.
They held it. It was a good hold, and then held OM.
Can't afford to let that happen with
That's
25
huge.
seconds on the clock. Pildora looking for something. Badu also there. Shots from Coldest are great. Pildora unlikely to put off a 1 versus 4 with this much time, and Coldest will formalize it. You said it, mate. 3 offensive rounds for ARP. Certainly could have been better. I'll say that for sure. Probably should really be 4-2 or even 5-1, but still, you take those 3 offensive rounds off the reset gear. Now it's going to be ARP on defense.
And if you're on Mythic, you most certainly would think, can feel that momentum slipping a little bit. So would not be surprised to see an aggressive play right here, but it looks like they're going to send utility at A, and then all 3 players wrap back toward mid right here. Bomb carrier has already made entry onto Sai. Unravel spots 1, but he's not going to be able to find anything. And that's a huge opener, as there's now no defensive presence here on the B side. They can set up so many different angles against this retake. And ARP have got to get to work on this quickly.
Well, they are. You can see Chagabu immediately on the flank here. This is a big 1 versus 1. Not too sure if Pildora's just spotted her out. I think the way that he's playing suggests that he has.
Wait, has he?
Chagabu now has to kind of up the
Oh, he
ante
hasn't.
somewhat.
Oh, wait,
The call's
timing.
made, hey, we've got numbers in the situation. We might send a couple of players on flank. We can take the 3 versus 2 on the other side. Cryzo feels the brute force of that. There goes Chagabu. And now all down to Coldest. Not going to happen here. 1 versus 5 is significantly too much to ask for. OnMythic, they overwhelm on towards the B side.
And it seems like maybe the comfort of this Tunisia being a more familiar search and destroy map working to ARP's advantage to some degree, but not there, as they failed to take that opening defensive round where I think we expected them to carry some of that momentum through this time.
I don't know from the
push.
PC.
And really similar to last time, but this time Unravel's going to be able to find first blood with the sniper in hand. So his job's already been done. Anything he finds after this is just a bonus. And he's really just holding them off as long as he possibly can, waiting for the reinforcements to arrive, but they are going to drop like flies. Swish able to find one right there, but still a 2v3. Coldest slides through that top side, and Badu knows exactly where he is. Swish spotted out, but he's going to be able to find the frag, and just like that, it's a 2v2. Pildora shot onto Coldest.
Nice.
Swish pressure on, and he does not deliver. OnMythic, back-to-back rounds here to open the offense.
Yeah, first one is all well and good for ARP in that situation, but you do again have to follow up with backside control. Player inside the site unable to get away. OnMythic take advantage of the time that ARP were trying to burn off the clock. Retake is not possible. OnMythic looking so solid on the offense right now. I think fundamentally just a little bit more sound than their opposition. Once again, same kind of setup here. ARP
doing it again?
something a little bit different on defense. Swish has pushed all the way up here. Now looking to catch a couple of players off guard towards the A site. Badu's making a lot of noise though, and that's going to open up some potential here for OnMythic. They could potentially wrap this towards A if they want.
Different approach for both teams. Both the opening rounds for OnMythic, they had sent 3 players to A just to shuck utility and try to catch him off guard. But that time, one player goes top winery and finds the first blood. So Cryzo's taken out of the equation. They've now all wrapped toward A, but Coldest finds a crucial kill right here. Dakota trying to cover bomb planter right here, second guessing it with that smoke, but nobody going to make their way through. So they should be able to get the bomb down. The question is, can they find this opening kill? And Swish perfectly cooks the nade right there. That's absolutely crucial. Indra's got to hold off as many players as possible, but Unravel finds one. He finds another right there, and now all down to Indra in the 1v1. Comes out on top. Huge 1v2 for them, as they're now 1 round away from closing this one out and moving up 2-0 in the series.
You are absolutely right to point out Indra as a player we have to watch. Might not be the top fragger right now for OnMythic, but certainly, though, will be clutching up over and over again. Big 1 versus 2 for him there towards the end of that engagement. OnMythic now 3 rounds on the bounce here in this
that guy's weak.
ARP dealing with the threat again.
He got super lucky.
Will get the double with just one shot. 2 birds, 1
What did he wallbang too?
As well. 4 is coming from
We need a
Swish,
replay.
and all down to just one
He got
player
like
now.
super
OnMythic
lucky.
decided to come into this round with unpatented aggression, and they have been ground to a halt. ARP
He just jumped and shot.
player, and finally some momentum swinging back the other way.
They needed somebody to,
because they would have killed this teammate, I believe.
I
think it was in the bush.
Delivered, locking down that B side, the collat, and then another one to follow up with it. OnMythic absolutely picked it apart right there, and would not be surprised to see a different approach. But it looks like
he just turned on his luck switch on.
Insane wallbang, and once again gives that early.
Yeah, that wallbang was so random.
ARP. He is going.
It was so random, so luck.
Massive here, and
Like,
OnMythic.
that wasn't even like a wallbang spot.
They did not expect to lose a player that early.
All right. Looks like Unravel's really started to step things up in these last few rounds,
All
taking
right.
his guardianship of the B site seriously. Good shot as well from Cryzo. That's Salome down for the count now, and OnMythic has certainly split very thinly across the board. Indra decides to take a peekaboo towards site. Finally, some kind of value towards A as Pildora takes Cryzo out of the play. But it doesn't make this situation any more palatable. At the very least, Chagaboo should be dead to rights here. I concerned myself for a second there.
Do they know bomb is there? They do not know bomb is there.
Biggest issue here. That
Wait,
bomb is
maybe
now
they do?
down towards B, owing to Indra's
I think they do,
count towards
actually.
the site. So, not
Yeah, they're running the
really a
way,
lot of
so I'm
time
pretty
to
sure
burn
they
off the clock
do
here for
know.
Badu and Pildor to actually transition towards site to get that.
And ARP can just play off the information from that one. It's got to be onto a sniper to find an opening frag right here, but not, like you said, not a whole lot of time to work with. 37 seconds on the clock, and ARP going to be playing as passive as possible to get the information to take a life advantage in this one. Playing together, but once again, time their biggest enemy. Only 20 seconds there, not moving quickly at all. Unravel's going to find one. Coldest finds
Oh, but yeah.
That's ARP now taking back-to-back rounds to get back into this one. They're 1 round away from forcing overtime.
Like, Unravel has had so much more to do in the last couple of rounds. It was a clap in the last round, and then round we just saw shot through the wall. Unravel having a field day here. ARP, as you said, just 1 more round. We see our first overtime of the day.
So lavish.
OnMythic
Welcome.
are decidedly slower this time around. Salome has to be careful. It's going to take a shot to the leg. Will Chagaboo. She's down for the count now. How much more value can Salome find? Job number 1 is done. OnMythic have that first blood. Now they can play a little bit more with the map.
Dakota's going to sit back, play this one passive. Once again, bomb in hand. Actually, no, it is in hand right now for Indra, who's actually just kind of watching over it for the time being. Coldest waiting for an entry right here. And a bit of a stalemate between these two teams as Indra's finally going to opt to pick up the bomb right there. Very unusual approach, but it looks like it does the hope for plan right there. Is now everybody going to start rotating for ARP. Cryzo finds one onto Salam. So that's going to be the equalizer right here. And Pildora
Does he
really
check this
wants
corner?
to find
Does
this
he
opening
check the
engagement.
corner?
Is he going to read Coldest behind this box? That's the real question.
Does feel like that's going to be the entire play that might well blow this entire thing wide open. You lose value through the middle of the map as well. So now it becomes all the more important. Check is made, but not before Coldest takes some shots. Doesn't matter. Equally, you lose Cryzo through the middle of the map here. Now you have site control. ARP on the rush to get back in towards it, but you overtake a snipe on towards Unravel. Not going to win that fight. Now 2 versus 2. Switch out towards the site. Shut down from Indra. Now Unravel.
That was a dumb pig. The guy who got sniped versus the US, whatever, that was a dumb pig. The doorway, whatever. It was like,
they stop the overtime. They take the search and destroy, and now a 2-0 series lead.
like obviously it depends on the sniper, but that was
For Indra as he goes
like your game is on the line type of thing.
for his squad. They have absolutely surprised me right here, and I would imagine probably surprised this ARP squad as they've shown a lot of mental toughness despite some of the runs that we saw ARP
Hold on, I'm opening
go on.
another tab.
Big shots out of a lot of different players. Dakota's, I feel like, had a lot of big 2 pieces to close out some of those rounds and unravel for ARP. Some beautiful shots out of him, but unfortunately not enough to give them the map.
And I will say again, for me, it comes back to those first few rounds. Despite some phenomenal plays towards the end of the game from Unravel, and really, I think just ARP on the whole, it was those first 3 rounds. I know that you walk away with 3 offensive efforts from ARP. I get that, but at the same time, they could have probably got a couple more were it not for some key areas in just actually getting on towards the sites. Just certain fundamental problems that I think, again, maybe a couple of scrims probably would have helped them solve. But ultimately, it is going to be ARP taking an L in that search and destroy, despite the heroics of Unravel with 12 frags to his name. OnMythic
Another ball playing after the series. After the series is over, NA Falloffs will be playing. That is your team name. That is Rabala Seam Veg, or like Rabala Veg, and I don't know who else. Rabala Veg, MV, and
they now have an opportunity to close this out in a 3-0. We get ready to head into the raid control. And you would think, especially with this being the longest standing map in the control map pool, with as many experienced players as ARP have, they should feel comfortable heading into this one. But with the way things have gone so far in this series, I think they can feel anything but comfortable.
Yeah, and that's the problem right now, right? Again, I will say normally for me, if I look at a roster like ARP with the amount of kind of players they have on side that should be showing mental resilience, I think they would be fine. But it's the newer players that I'm not necessarily as aware of, where I'm like, are you guys going to be okay 2-0 down in a series you guys didn't necessarily expect yourselves to be 2-0 down in? How are you going to handle that? Because for me, in my mind, if I'm ARP, I go into this entire series thinking, yeah, we're probably going to easily breeze through this. It's NA fall-offs that are going to be the problem in this group. All of a sudden, you're now facing this OnMythic roster that have come out and surprised both us here on the casting desk and, of course, ARP in this series. OnMythic look serious right
actually,
now.
I think so. I don't know. I don't know the players.
And I'm kind of curious here. Raid control. You know what I'm going to say? As I've said
I do not fully know me.
A lot of teams do not play raid control properly. I actually saw last week a lot more teams playing map control on the defense really, really well. So I'm curious.
I don't know. I'm not like, what is it, caught up on the NA scene like that.
To edge out OnMythic here and survive in this series. But if I see a raid control defense and it's not played properly, Bobby, I'm going to screech, mate.
Well, hopefully we can keep the blood pressure down heading into this one. We'll see if OnMythic deliver here off the start. They are going to send one player over toward the A side. And for the offense, ARP full sending it here on to B. Chagabu going to be first on, and Badu's going to find 2 to open things up. That's a pretty blue feed, and not a great start for an ARP team that is scrambling for any semblance of hope. They find themselves down 5 lives, make it 6 very early on.
And this is a phenomenal start from OnMythic, as about as good as you could possibly ask for here. ARP do not look focused whatsoever off the respawn. Their choice is to opt straight towards a push through pool A side. You get rid of one of those key players, though. That's Badu down for the count. Now through open stairs, OnMythic is going to cut them off at the source. Pildora will take one player down, but it's not fully enough to actually stop these guys on the offense. So they should be able to stop the clock. But now it's about taking out the players from money, from basketball. The latter of those two positions, player has now gone down. Injured through the window, though. Able to double up. Flanking play from Bendora. Could still blow this thing wide open, and it will. Flash now over the top here, coming out from ARP. At the very least, they don't have to deal with anybody inside top bedroom. They are getting those closer spawns towards A, but time really starting to run out in this round.
OnMythic have just looked like the more cohesive team at every turn in this one. Phenomenal responses on that defensive side, and ARP have not been able to poke a hole in it one bit. Chelsea gonna find one right there before she gets traded out, and Pildora, he's on a 5 spree. Badu's gonna find 2 of his own. No time to work with right here. 1 second as they stop the clock, but only 5 lives to work with. And really, any time that you can get to charge those operators after the fact, OnMythic will take, but they certainly don't need it. They take the opening round 1-0, and they do it in a dominant way.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal start from OnMythic. One of the cleanest breakoffs I think we've ever seen. Really on this map mode combination and a game mode that series, excuse me, that has been so
okay. We have OM has a war machine.
OnMythic come out strong. Talk about those operators off the rip. Of course, the fact that they get that extra time is going to enable them to bring
pillars. I
off this round. Now make it 2.
Okay.
Sparrow comes out after the.
Look at pillars, guys. There you go.
Can the Sparrow find any value? Salome at the top will be
gonna go shower. No.
This now you're really going to start to press the issue here. Salome finally going to run out of arrows in the Sparrow and will
a nice shower, man.
But the job is done. You create a lot of space now. OnMythic
What's up,
now
Justin?
jump on the point, and if I'm ARP. I don't even really know if I do anything about this. I just go straight towards an A defense.
Yeah, we talked about the importance of those newcomers performing, and unfortunately, they have not done so off the start of this one for ARP. Unravel and Swish, 1 kill apiece, part of the way through the second round of Control, just not going to make the cut at this level of competition. And they've got to find some leadership in that squad to get these guys a little bit more confident heading into this one. Not a bad setup right here. But that B zone already captured does not bode well.
You playing what?
Unfortunately, Switch
Not much for him.
inside of Kitchen gonna be able to find 2, and that slows the push.
Enemy down.
ARP now looking for a way to stabilize here. Over a minute on the clock. They've got players in key power positions. Unravel doing a really good job of holding those spawns down. From bottom bedroom side, you've got Swish in the Z cut, trying to stop these guys making it towards ring. One player has actually gotten past, and I'm curious to see whether or not Salome actually comes back to help out the team. Yeah, he does. Making sure they get rid of Swish. Swish, though, trying to break these guys in. Doesn't he find any...
They're looking for that guy. That was smart.
On, though. And just by making that one play, Swish wastes, what, like 20 seconds off the clock? That's time you really wanted if you're ARP.
Yeah, absolutely no question about it. OnMythic has taken kitchen control right here, so it's really just a question of getting the rest of those players pushed forward to be able to lock down that surrounding area. Salome doesn't get read right here by Cryzo, but not going to be able to find the kill either. They get the information, and the War Machine's going to pop, so that's a crucial kill. OnMythic trying to make their way forward, but Cryzo doing a phenomenal job of zoning out. Swish pops the equals, and just like that,
the looks so much better.
Completely flipped on its head. He's not going to read the one player coming out of garage right there, but still finds the kill anyway. And it looks like ARP has found enough momentum to give themselves a glimmer of hope. Pildora not going to be able to connect with the sniper, and now down to 5 lives. Not a whole lot of time to work with, and they have got to be completely perfect from here on out to have a chance in this round.
If I'm honest, I don't necessarily hate those operators coming out from ARP, right? They just want to secure this round to even the odds here in Control. Feels like they should be able to do it over here with 10 seconds left on the clock. One last push through OnMythic, through Money's side. Team shots from Salome, not that great in the end. Unable to get the kill before the teammate goes down. Now just down at Pildora. Exit was being watched by Cryzo, but there's just no time for any such play to happen.
For his streaks now.
Gotta say, really both off the control of the map, and I think those operators coming out towards the end of the game to punch that round home, able to equalize things out here on this Control.
Has 5. They're 5 operators.
Off the rip here as we get into the defense.
How many are gonna pop though? Just a War Machine, right? Or 2?
Yeah, I don't think they were stressing the outcome of that one too very much. Unravel's gonna pop his Annihilator, and he goes huge. He's
only 1 operator was used. That was good.
Not too far off the EMP. And it looks like they've been able to take Badu's operator off the table, but still 4 ready to go. It's just a question of what type of damage can they do with it. Is ARP looking a lot more confident off the opening break here in this one? No value going to be found off that Pred missile as Trophy does take it out. And it looks like it's going to be a free B zone capture right here. Badu does find one.
No, they can still play it.
Looking a lot less confident and have not seen much value out of those operators.
Trophy systems taking out Predator missiles, mate? Who knew? Never knew about that. Anyway, ARP not going to fully capture a B just yet. We'll be now looking to force the issue here. This is a big play coming out from Swish. If you could find some more value there, that's great. But will at the very least create some space so that OnMythic can now start to make this happen towards A. Good first kill coming through from Unravel. Job's not done just yet. Nice shots on towards Badu as well. Towards the point. Chagaboo finding value against Indra. That's the Death Machine player out of the play. But actually on the point, Swish now finds himself isolated. Gonna stop the clock. Waiting for players now to make their way over from the spawn. But Pildora to take Swish down. That's gonna make the clock go again. Still 2 ticks over by B. Still a chance here for OnMythic to get something going on the defense towards A, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Double stack now starting to come through here from ARP. You've got players on the point. Somebody from OnMythic needs to put a stop to this right now. Here comes Indra to get it done. Not going to check that left-hand corner, but Pildora potentially on the flank. Nope, not also going to get shut down.
Oh yeah, it's got to be ASAP. Got to be ASAP.
Just about that capture comes through.
You don't want to A capture.
See an extra 60 seconds here for ARP.
Oh, that guy's going to kitchen. They don't see him. And they don't see the guy's leg.
Through the second round, they're now the 2 top frags for this ARP squad. They have been the difference so far in these rounds that they've been able to win. and doing a
Rise
phenomenal
up can be
job.
huge
Looks like
here
they're not gonna
if he
secure
doesn't
those
get
final
caught.
couple of seconds needed to close out that capture, but 6 lives left to do it, and 3 operators if they want to use them. Would not hate to see that happen.
Rise up
Two
can be
players
huge if he
dropping.
doesn't
Odds of
get
them winning
caught.
This round just dropped substantially.
Yeah, I would actually say, if anything here, the biggest thing.
Oh, he got a kill, then he died.
That is executed at the same
So.
time. You were right. Probably would have been nice to see one of those operators coming out to play, but a 2 versus 6 at this stage of the competition would require some hefty one-on-one.
Yeah, his team was dying too. If his team waited for him, maybe. You know who's like ARP IGL?
And
No.
now I think this makes this 1 versus 5 untenable. Not really much that Chagabu can do here in this situation. If I'm Chagabu, I run at these guys. I do not waste time because you are giving them time for their operators to charge up. Here comes the hit though. First kill's good. Now looking for the second. Sly Chow not good enough, and Dakota will take Chagabu down. So OnMythic, massive sigh of relief there as they manage to take that round away. That is a huge clutch for them. But you've given away a lot of ticks in that round. That was 5 for ARP. That basically all but guarantees a defense for round 5.
Yeah, no question about it. To be fair, they have not necessarily looked awful on the offensive side, but it's been very, very up and down with Unravel and Swish starting to get back into this one. Absolutely a chance. 2 operators out on both sides. Unravel's going to be first to connect, and it looks like 2 operators already taken off the table for OnMythic. So ARP do the opening damage. They're going to continue to find kills with Unravel, that Annihilator in hand. This is the opening that they were looking for. Absolutely.
It might be at the defense side where
so far.
Yeah, that's a lot of
OM needs to get defense to see if they can secure the win. That's what it's looking like.
Start to spin up once more. Swish on the defensive side though, trying to bring those equalizers out to play. You want a clean defensive win here, so you can go into a round 5 defense feeling pretty happy about yourself. Swish now on the hunt as the equalizer's starting to run out of time. Wants to find more value. Will start to tear.
The question is, how many ticks does OM have? How many ticks does ARP have? That's the question.
Run out of bullets and time, but the damage is absolutely done here as ARP are ripping OnMythic a new.
Because if ARP gets defense, then they might win it.
Spun out of control. There is absolutely no chance here that OnMythic win this round.
ARP looking like a streaky.
Yeah, they're giving up B. Not giving up, but they're going for B.
Absolutely storming the map right now. Dakota's gonna move forward. Actually opts to pop the claw right here. He only finds 1 kill off of that. And knowing that you're getting ready to
wait, you didn't hear him? I heard him.
A questionable play.
No, I'm over here spectating and hearing passers. I heard the weapon swap.
Onto B right here. But still so much that you've got to do to have a chance at closing things out right here. Indra's gonna be able to find one.
OM gets a full B cap. Do they get tick or more ticks than ARP and get defense now? I don't know how many ticks ARP has.
I don't think that they invest right here, but at the bare minimum, you kind of stop that bleeding a little bit.
I would like to strike.
Why do you use call? Maybe to guarantee the tick cap or to guarantee B cap.
5 versus 10.
Which it worked. Now, the question is, do they get defense? I don't know how many ticks each team has. That's the thing. That's what sucks. Now, if they do get defense, or if OM gets defense, then it's good.
In a professional setting, short of the nuke that we saw last week, Badu here, I think will not pull off this 1 versus 6. It would be insane.
I don't know if production has the ability to calculate this, but if we could have Unravel and Swish's KDs before and after the fact that I pointed out that they were on 1 kill apiece, they have gone absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Let's see.
ARP claw their way back.
OM has defense.
28 and 24
right?
kills apiece. They have put this team.
Yeah, OM has defense. This could be huge. That claw was worth it. Now, do OM win this? That's a question. Let's find out.
Tempest gonna be able to make his way all the way through mid right here.
Because OM couldn't do anything on attacking.
Some serious damage.
But defense, they were doing good.
Behind enemy lines, it's going to be the shock here of your life. As Cold is the player to get it done, but on the other side, Pildora to take them down. That's 2 with the Annihilator looking for
nice.
3. Unravel right in front of him, and Pildora cleans house. OnMythic will defend the point. ARP Gaming here now moved away. Just 1 minute on the clock. You invested a little bit into that play, but you still have more tricks up your sleeve. Now you got to deal with Indra. on the other side of the death machine. OnMythic have been perfect with their operators in this round. 50 seconds on the clock for ARP to pull something out of their rear ends.
Wait, he's using War Machine bottom paths?
Have to go now.
Badu sniffed one out from that spawn. Cryzo War Machine hasn't found any value yet, but they don't seem to know where he is. Unfortunately, right there, it's going to be tough to find value, and it goes absolutely...
Are you egoing? Oh, I was going to say.
Now down 7 lives.
Yo, I meant serious. I saw you jump down. I thought you were going to ego him. I was like, no.
The table is now Chagaboo going to be the only one remaining. Only 20 seconds to get onto an objective right here. They've got no map control, and they are just funneling down the barrels of these OnMythic guns. They get ripped to shreds. Dakota's going to pop the claw right here.
Nice.
And a 14 life
And look, he pops the claw there too. It was worth it.
Does his best to mitigate the damage, but only 5 seconds and 4
They did it.
lives. Absolutely nothing.
They 3-0'd ARP.
And they are absolutely shocked as they go down 3-0 to OnMythic.
It was worth it. He did pop the claw in
Hell, dude.
last round.
What the hell? Like,
And it was worth it.
Something that we were talking about. I was, to be honest with you, I'm gonna kind of out myself here. I was going into this series thinking, looking at ARP, looking at the likes of Chagaboo and Coldest on this roster. They had Static in open finals. I'm not entirely sure. West,
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. ARP was favored. ARP was favored on the
this series.
on the on.
That OnMythic we're not gonna have a good time.
ARP was favored for the series.
NA fall-offs and ARP, but a new
Lurker, he was on a team called CX Comp. I don't know if you know that whole era, the war.
Super duper back and forth. I will say, I'd actually like to.
Lurker, do you know the CX group or no?
Round 5 defense. Is it ticks or is it kills? Here in combat.
It's ticks.
It is ticks. ARP did a lot of damage in that round number 4. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't get the defense for round number 5. Regardless, though, it does not matter. They couldn't win the offense. When
Something is a DQ.
Big plays
I don't know. I think it depends what it is. I'm not too sure about the whole thing.
Give him the MVP of the series. Indra, the top fragger here alongside Pildora on OnMythic, has been performing every single game. A player that everyone here in this group and really in North America need to watch out for.
Nah, Lurker, they backed out. Like they backed out as in like they left the tournament, you know? Yeah, he was on a team called CX Comp and they like backed out, you know? They qualified but they backed out. Does that make sense? Like they I don't know the right word. I think it's the right word, but I can't figure it out. But yeah, they backed out.
That was wild.
Let me just say that.
Just like you guys, I mean, I was not prepared for that strong of a 3-0 out of OnMythic. Kudos to them.
Optic needs to get you in there. Dude, Optic right now is make me so mad. I'm mad.
And they don't
but
have to worry about much of anything for quite some time. They
the Optic era right now is just like, just not it, man.
For everybody at home that doesn't
it's sad. It's sad to see.
Yet, if you're just joining us, OnMythic winning that 3-0.
Forfeit? They didn't forfeit. They got replaced. Like, they backed out.
Who they'll be facing off against in the third.
They didn't forfeit. I mean, I guess, I don't know. They like backed out and they got a replacement for their team, you know?
In our bracket, NA fall-offs versus Stylum. Lots of storylines that we'll be able to start talking about there as we look towards match number 2. But I mean, Bobby, that
I don't know, Lurker. But all I know is they backed out after qualifying. What are your thoughts on the new rank system coming, or and anything you know that we don't? It's a 50-50 if we're getting there or not, you know? Like they said, the community is not mature enough for the rank system, so we just gotta wait and see. Because what is it? It's like a 50% chance that we get it and we don't get it, you know? Maybe they use iPad or something. I mean, I mean, this stage does not matter. Like the device does not matter for this stage. Like you go. There's iPad players in here. There's phone players, because it's not like stage 4. Like you don't need a requirement device yet, you know? We're not at that point yet.
To grabbing one of those 4 available spots in our challenge final.
But remember, should be on a better team. He's across sniper too.
Match 1 well fought, but like I've been saying, That's just the first match of the day. We still have 2 more to go. So before we get into match number 2, we're going to send it to a short break. But don't go anywhere. You're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
How long is the break? 8 minutes? Okay. Don't worry, guys. I got a backup video. Backup video. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right, time just go. Hold up, let me just pull up. Pull up. I got a backup video. Okay, I got it. Backup video. Oh my god, there's so many tabs. Okay, there's my chat. And that, okay. Backup video. I got, so Team OUG versus S8UL. We got Seven playing, we got Ben playing, we got Kings, and we got Solo and Raph. Wow, thank you for the dub, man. Dude, that's playing fun. No, not for this stage at the moment. How does it work if someone has only played ever on iPad? Well, they gotta get used to the phone. Once you get the phone, like delivered to you and all that. So for example, like Stage 4. Okay, for example, Stage 4. There's usually a sponsored device for Stage 4. And they would either send it to you or you buy it. One of those things. From my experience, they sent it to me, and then that's how you get used to it. So every Stage 4 player will get a device sent to them, most likely, and they will have to get used to it. If you never played on the phone and they send you a device in Stage 4, you gotta get used to it, you know? And if you do bad, you do bad. If you do good, you do good, you know? And they are able to check if you played on the device or the iPad for Stage 4. But this is not like the Stage 4 event yet. So we're still in a stage where you could use your own device. It doesn't matter what device you use. So like iPad or phone, whatever. What's up, Lily? Waiting for 5 minutes and 20 seconds for SPS to come back. Be off break. Oh, and the Sentinels back? Oh god. I was watching, what is it? I was watching Sentinels versus Shroud X in Marvel's Rivals, but then this tournament happened, so I stopped watching. Oh, Lurker, do you know them? The org? Never. I don't know orgs like that, so I never heard of them. Isn't it in Pudgy? Possibly, I think. Maybe. Have you been playing Marvel Rivals? Yeah. Played it. I haven't been really been grinding it, but I played Marvel Rivals. It's good. I was wondering, are controller players allowed to join these type of tournaments? No. I'm pretty sure controller. Yeah, it's like banned, no matter what. Three minutes, chat. 2 minutes. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. 4 minutes, basically. My fucking energy, that's great. Those type of games you just feel, but I did use that character. Like
Hostiles have captured Hardpoint. Hunter killer drone deployed.
King changing his side to King is even more cringe. I don't know why he did that. But and he's with me.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Objective.
Damn.
Be advised.
That's good.
Hostile predator inbound. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested.
Man just like dropped the mic. The heck?
Frag.
7.
Hardpoint contested.
Was he also part of? So I believe Ben is from somebody
Capture the hard.
from Garena and from Team Blacklist. I want to say 7 is the same, but I'm not too sure.
Friendly hunter killer drone deployed.
I wonder how big. I wonder the big difference of the ping, because you gotta remember, this is China.
Contested.
Yeah, Kings is in China now, I believe. This is China versus India, so I wonder how big the ping difference is.
Hunter killer drone deployed.
We got 1 minute, 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Target down.
Hardpoint contested.
Tango down.
Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested.
Twice. Music. I guess we just wait for this countdown. Wait for the countdown. Wait for the countdown. And then. This point next we have NA Falloffs versus SCY, whatever their team name. So we got Vag, Raballo, MV team. I don't know who else is on that team, but we'll find out once this countdown is over, and then they will show us the roster most likely.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, DHL.
Everybody, hopefully you are refreshed after our little break as we prepare to get into our second match of the day here in week 2 of the challenge season for Call of Duty Mobile.
Wouldn't the ping difference be the minimum?
In a very clean and swift
I don't know. I don't know how big the difference is.
Now, we're going to be turning our attention.
Like, I want to say around like
I think there's been lot of chatter here.
under 80. I don't know. I might be sounding crazy, but I don't know how far those two places are.
Just watch North American competitive Call of Duty Mobile, or really any region. If you watch Stage 5, you're going to recognize the majority of these players.
Okay, we got MB, Washi, Raballo,
you got Washi,
Shane, Jez, Ben. Jez is there? Interesting.
He's retired, so for the most part, he's playing on tablet, which is obviously.
I wonder who's playing then. I think it's MB, Vag, Raballo, Shane, Jez.
I don't know how seriously they're taking this, but there's no question they've got the talent. So I think regardless of how.
Yeah, I want to say MB, Vag, Raballo, Shane, Jez are going to be the 5.
All that competitiveness will kick in as soon as they get into their match up against Stylum here, Brody.
Who's Shane?
Yeah, we've retirement home and picked up some old biddies.
What is it?
Now we've got our
I don't know
team,
where.
some new kids on the block from Latin America, of course.
I know he put rank, but I don't know anything else.
This is another one of those teams.
So I want to say a rank warrior,
finals take
basically.
down, Kaya, not the same Kaya from season 5, 2-0, but they
I don't know.
pretty
I do
close.
not know
So this is again one of those
the story or
situations where
anything.
you've got a new team versus a very old team, and as Bobby already said, it's a very
I think
old
Washi might be in Japan,
how serious
from what I
they're
saw on
taking it.
Twitter.
So I'm gonna put it out there into the
So I don't
universe
know
that
if he
there is a
will be
chance here that
playing.
Asylum could
See,
surprise the
Washi.
It's like that. Let's have it.
I feel like you're just saying that because you were surprised by OnMythic, so now you're covering all your bases.
Cover my butt. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's like multiple days ago, so I don't know. Maybe Washi's back home. I'm not sure.
Should, right? Well, I think they're going to answer some of those questions as we get into the series. Starting things off with the Slums Hardpoint, Bobby.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to cast this one for the first time in a really long time. We've not seen Slums, the Hardpoint map pool, for quite some time. Obviously, getting thrown back into the rotation. This is one that players that are scrimming more recently might feel a little bit more comfortable. So depending on how much NA Fallout,
I thought you said Jez and you are team, and you are team luck. I don't know, Lurker. Actually, I don't know how did Jez do that. Not sure.
The Coastal is an opportunity for Asylum to maybe pick something away.
Maybe talk to somebody. I don't know.
An opportunity to do so. So yeah, I mean,
I didn't care to talk to anybody, so I don't know if I could have done the same. I don't know.
If I'm Stylum, it's when we get to the back.
Either way, I wanted to watch party this regardless. I wanted to watch party this regardless, but I got told by Tech, yo, let's make a team. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to watch party, man. I would make a team for this, you know, online thing. Base, thank you. Who's Day?
All right, well, we'll see what that.
No, it was only it was Tech in them. You mean?
Stylum will be another surprise like we saw out of match number 1. But our players are
What
locked
you mean?
and loaded, phones are charged and ready. So let's dive into match number 2.
Why are you not playing? Because I wanted to watch party. No, look, I even told Tech before us making that lock team thing, whatever, team lock, whatever you want to call it. I told him I wanted to watch party this regardless. I don't want to play this part of the tournament, or like this tournament, you know. I'm waiting for like the champs part and see what happens.
From what I've seen,
Should I listen to Tech?
Jez has been a lot more in the rotation as far as scrims go.
What are you saying?
Possibility that Ban could be in there as well, but I know one of the new additions is Shane.
Coastal's in map now. Yes, Coastal is in map now.
I believe that he's going to be playing with that squad today. So
okay, let's see who are the 5 that are playing.
Obviously, across the board, you have the expected players in Robalo specifically, as he's been playing pretty much nonstop for the entirety of the last 2 months. But you can throw together just about any combination of those.
Start it.
And
You got Robalo, Shane, Jez, Washi, and Envy. But okay, so we do have Washi. We do have Washi playing. No bag. Robalo, Shane, Jez, Washi, Envy.
With the nade to get things started, Stylum does respond and find a few kills of their own.
And then who we got for the other team?
Opening control of that hard point,
The other team, I don't know any. I don't recognize any name.
Yep, Stylum coming out here with the first opening gunfights. My expectations levels are kind of set pretty much at 0 here for Stylum, and that's not because I necessarily think they're not going
Maybe just
to
double
win
check.
per se, just because
It's
I think
stream quality, their quality, whatever.
Play pretty well, but again, like there's only so much you can ever take away from open
Hey, Lurker.
final competitions,
Who knows?
open
I
final
don't know.
matches, unless you're playing an established team, right? So expectations pretty much set at 0 here for
So we got Robalo on the SMG. Jez on SMG, Washi on SMG, Shane Envy on AR. Yo, whoever's this SCY team, it looks like they're doing good. Gunfight wise.
But they will be getting the rotation towards P2. These back spawns, though, sometimes can be more of a curse than a gift.
Yep, we'll have to see what they can
That
do.
puzzle happen now?
For the
Yeah.
time being, and that's going to leave Stylum spawning.
Doesn't
across the
change
map.
anything.
Fiction looking to
I bet it's allowed in this
right here,
this part of the tournament.
Live for long. They might be able to flip
Yeah.
off that. 2 players.
Joking, I'm joking.
That is going to be NA fall off spawning.
Yeah, SCY is playing good though.
And a clean one at that for Stylum right here. Jez able to find one, Washi another, and Envy.
I wonder if they're Mexico.
Looks like a non-stop battle for these spawns, but maybe a little more time needed to be invested on actually breaking the hard point.
I'm sure they're not right now.
Not gonna be able
I
to do
think
anything
these guys are
on
Mexico.
that spawn flip.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's not that great. Stylum now, the back spawns are there. As I did say again, though, that's not the end of the world for a team approaching from the front of this hill, but you do have to win the gunfights. Graffido off the back of an early Tempest play We'll pick up some more frags here. Stylum now in control for this hill, and I've got a feeling, looking over towards the mini-map, that NA Fall-Offs are just going to give this up. Roto towards new. Now, traditionally here in Call of Duty, this hardpoint and the next one have been considered a money rotation.
Rabal died with that war machine already.
Could come back in
That just was AR.
from P3 to P4.
There is a third AR, but I don't know who it is. We gotta wait and find out if somebody ever switches. Okay, Rabal just switched. Rabal just switched to AR, right? Okay, Rabal is a third AR.
Not really anything to worry about too terribly much as the death machine comes out. The pre-fire loses out to the claw in the hands of Envy. That's a huge kill, but the feed still goes blue right here. All down to Jez as he's going to be able to find one, but the final kill does not go his way. Rabalo trying to see if he can be the one man break, and he is. 3 straight, working on some streaks right here.
Let's see, Rabalo be the one man break, man.
Best not to fall too terribly far. Looks like they're going to be able to hold the hard point for the time being. Do a little bit of damage that had been done off the start for Stylum.
Yeah, I talked about those rotations as well.
Call the party.
Here for Stylum at the very least is that they haven't quite lost those spawns. But now they
you guys have no.
So NA Fall-Offs, big back push there towards that hard point. Going to keep them in the
How many operators? Of course. Dude, I hate Dude, I wish we could go to a no operator COD, like just get a banner, whatever.
For NA Fall-Offs to get control, but they do. Just still a little bit of juice left in the
operators are cringe, dude.
Thinking he can probably get a little bit more value out of them, and well, won't even get the chance to do so because his teammates are picking up all the.
I want to say Lurker. I want to say yeah. So that's also why I said it's Mexico team.
One of the things about getting old is sometimes it takes you a little bit longer to get warmed up. That might be some of what NA Fall-Offs are suffering from. Is the
like if it's a Mexico team, I see why they're doing good. You know.
Blazing on the back half of this first rotation. Washi's going to be able to find another one.
Because Mexico is now part of like NA region, basically, and like the freaking like tournament stuff. No operator score streak. Score streak. So the only score streak that would be allowed in like how I want it is no operators. Probably only the Pred allowed, and that's it. That was good. That was a good shot.
Have been completely wiped off the table, and I believe Envy.
Prince, I believe he's in UD. On Dream, I believe. I believe he's in UD. I think we watched in Group A, like my day 1 stream. I want to say he's in UD.
60 to 70 points. So to see where we went from there to where we're at now, NA Fall-Offs have fully put their foot on the gas pedal. Now fully in control. Stylum vying for some control over P1. Rabalo out towards the middle of the map here to provide some coverage and cut.
When are the rest weapons gonna start? When they've been certain meta weapons like BP use?
Is going to be able to take a couple of players down.
What? This is real time, man. It's just, hey, I try to get my feedback on the rule set, what it should be, and like that junk just goes out the window, basically. Hey, I wish these tournaments could actually have a competitive post set rule, but I don't know how long that's gonna take. That's gonna be like years, maybe. I don't know, man. Who knows? I try to get the rule set to like a competitive point of view or competitive like point, but like it's hard.
Some opening damage right here. Envy does get shut down off the opening push.
It's hard.
So Stylum should be able to hold for the time being. Question is, how long does it last?
Like we banned the SKS because how broken it was. It got unbanned this year. I'm like, what?
Gonna be able to find 4, maybe 5. The Pred's gonna drop as well. They've got no trophies down, and now Stylum in a bit of a reverse spawn trap right here. They finally flip out. But NA Fall-Offs, beauty of a break from the front side right there.
Yeah, that little spawn trap is what you need to be concerned about if you're the team on the.
Yeah, I believe I think he's on UD also. Or, I want to say he's on UD. If not, then he's on a different team. I mean, I think I've seen his name before. In like one of these, you know, tournaments, like online tournaments, whatever.
Looking to cut these players off will be Jez. Equalizes out for him, finding immediate value versus Graffito. Players now starting to push.
Gotta sneeze.
So Washi has to deal with both of them, and unfortunately, we're only able to pick one.
Maybe.
Stylum have broken through the front of this hard point, but they're going to deal with players on both sides.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Looks like for the time being, they're going to be able to hold the line as well. So Stylum maybe a little bit streaky, but they've been able to.
If he's not on UD, then he's on a Brazilian team because I feel like, okay, he can't play NA, so he's on a Brazilian team because I feel like I've seen his name in one of these competitive tournaments or online tournaments. I meant online tournaments.
Not a whole lot of line of sight right here, but as long as they can.
So he's probably on a Brazilian team then.
Should be able to hold control of this P3.
I feel like I've seen his name.
Right there. And once again, NA Falloffs, whenever they've got going, have just rained down streaks. Shane's going to be able to find 2 right there. Does some damage. Washi, 1 with the Hunter Killer, 2 with the Pred. And NA Falloffs just raining down kills. It's just been a question of when they've managed to chain them together. And it looks like they're back in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I will say, and again, I think this is just because of the fact that NA Falloffs are unseasoned in certain moments, right? It feels like they're kind of just throwing everything at Stylum just for the fun of it. You know, they get a Predator style, it
AMG word.
down, they get an operator, it almost immediately comes out, and that has been working for them. Now looking for the rotational battles here, Shane trying to triple up.
Oh, I just saw your message. Your message. Speaking of COD, have you seen how Optic has been playing the CDL? Oh my goodness. Don't talk about it, man. Yo, Optic is in the horrible phase right now, dude. I hate it, man. And also, Kenny breaking the CDL, what is it, like CDL record of like the lowest KD? My goodness, bro. 0.30? Crazy.
Graffito will trade things back out in favor of Stylum. And Stylum not allowing this game to go NA Falloffs.
Here comes the NA Falloffs, yeah.
Yeah, they find at least an opening right here to break on into the hard point.
I think he broke a record. I don't know. I think it was a record. I'm not sure, but like lowest KD of like 0.30.
But Shane finds 2 to open things up right here. Damage is done on the
like he was getting so much hate even before 0.30 KD record breaking. So like now people are gonna have a reason to hate him even more now. Crazy.
There's just so much yellow in the feed. You gotta wonder if they've got enough margin for error to have a chance. Shane's gonna pop the Tempest right here.
That's a shock lucky.
The same.
I don't know what happened because okay, they were playing good with Pred until they replaced Pred with Huke for like one major, brought back Pred, and now they play so bad. They were playing good with Pred when they first made the team and all that stuff. But after that switch to Hook and then bringing back Pred, now they're in like they're like in an issue that has to be fixed, I think.
Victories from NA Falloffs, right? They have to work for, I think, a downside more than I necessarily expected them to do so.
Nah, like after they brought him back, now they they broke something and they had to like try to fix it.
Be it with just the weaponry, be it with operators, or be it with streaks, doesn't matter how they get it done. When that occurs, that's when they get map control, that's when they get game control. And there were so many moments in that game, from both the early game and also the second half of the game as well, where NA Falloffs did manage to wake up and step it up a notch, and every single time that happened, Stylum just did not have a response. I've got a feeling when we go to the end scoreboard here, there is going to be a massive difference in the slaying category. And
come on, almost 100k there in his viewers. Watch party, yeah.
Is the top fragging number from Rabalo, almost over 2 minutes inside the hard point as well. Mr. Do It All in that game.
Yep, no question about it. He's been putting more hours, even if it's not necessarily in scrims. He's been putting more hours into COD Mobile than just about anyone in the world, and it's definitely showing right there. I mean, his war machines just constantly find massive value. He pretty much single-handedly broke that P2 from the front side, and big performance out of him. Like you said, on the flip side, you got one player going positive, and that player had a whopping 20 seconds in the hard point. So Stylum just a bit outmatched in that one. With that being said, the downside of
I just put up a very strong fight in their series against FaZe today. After probably gonna be out tomorrow.
Getting reps in that search.
Who knows, man?
Who knows? For Stylum to actually take some maps in the series, and I think
they just need to switch or hit the switch, and yeah,
they can bounce back in the later maps.
Yeah, and we talked about it, right? I think when we looked at the maps earlier on that. ultimately it does feel like the win condition in this game.
What is it? Because they still make it the major, right? They still make it to the major, but they start in lower bracket, right? Optic does? I'm pretty sure.
With the amount of experience they have on roster,
Like, if so, because I want to see how they do in the lower bracket.
maps, right? They will just have less practice.
Because I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, I feel like they're going to hit the switch during the LAN, the major.
Most, common maps here towards the back half of the series to actually do anything versus fall-offs. That's a big ask for sure. We do have
You going to play for some team this year? I don't know, man.
This is going to be interesting. At this point in the series, I think with NA Fall-Off starting to feel themselves a little bit, they are warmed up after game number 1. Are we just expecting them to come out flying at Stylum?
I don't know. I just pray that if Optic does actually, I'm pretty sure, like, if Optic is in the major and they start lower bracket, obviously they're most likely to start lower bracket.
Through the smoke, another player shut down.
Weiss?
And it looks like maybe some more reps here on Coastal.
Weiss? Okay, yeah, if Optic starts in lower bracket, I hope they hit the switch and, you know, turn up on the major LAN, whatever. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, keep losing online. Keep losing online. But, like, just when it comes to LAN, turn up. That's what I'm praying for. I can't just run straight. What? Why do you just run in a straight line? You guys know where is Veg playing? Veg is not playing the series. Or he's not gonna play the series and all that. I don't know who's on the main lineup for this team. I'm a camera. I forgot. My bad. I had like cough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's the actual main lineup of this team. Like, what? Who's the actual like main lineup? Like, who's the 5?
First 2 rounds for Stylum. Both of those going to Klein Sita. We'll see if we get a different look right here. Definitely not going to full send it up the middle this time. Probably a good adjustment. This time going to send a little bit more pressure toward the A side.
A nice name. Oh, this, bro. That's for sure. What is it? Lion teams are always going to be good. Lion teams are always going to be good.
Stylum stuck in the mud once again. 4 versus 4 this time. Ecstasy, the best player for Stylum, back in open finals for sure in that series versus Kaya to qualify. We'll now look to set things up for the team.
I think the thing about mobile too is just like there's so many young people waiting to become 18 and then they go compete. And I think that's what the issue is with like mobile. There's so many like young people, like there's so many young people waiting to become 18 so they can play.
I mean, their snipers are locked in. I think if they needed to, Washington Envy could maybe 2v5 this entire game with the way that they've been playing right now. Stylum trying to make adjustments. This time they're going to full send it on over to B. Cannot blame them one bit. They have gotten ripped to shreds on every A push. No trophies down to open things up right here, but they actually managed to break on through. Unfortunately, Jez is there. He's going to be able to find one, and that's all his team needed out of
him.
Another player is going to drop, and with
he's been playing for a while.
Envy's done so far,
I have seen that name.
Washi going to back up.
Like years.
Not able to get the planter off that exit, so
should be age limit. No, you can't say that because there has to be like travel stuff and all that.
Versus the world.
Like there always has to be an age limit when it comes to stuff like this. Yeah, it has to be like
14 seconds on the clock now.
Just has to be.
Has to very quickly get towards the site and pick up the frags. It's just not going to happen. Finally, a round on the board here for Stylum. And I think really by way of just changing up the strategy.
Actually, almost 20
towards the site. They've been hitting A over and over again. They finally changed things up. And it is absolutely the perfect.
How many more? 60? I don't know.
Yeah. Very well executed right there. The question is,
but
to make any adjustments right here. You got to think more utility going forward.
Even though they have a lower cost of living,
but the damage has been done, and that's completely.
They have a lower cost of living. What about the jobs? You know, the pay. You know, that's what it. That's the thing with the lower cost of living. Do you get like it? Does jobs pay well? That's the question. You know.
But got to find a way to pick up that kill, and now a smoke down might be able to make their way through mid, and they do exactly that.
Trades is good though from Raballo and for Stylum. Once again, they just feel stunted at the moment. Early play call from Jez to move forward with the R9 was everything. Good kills coming out from Fiction though. All of a sudden here, the KRM doing a lot of damage. That's Jez out of the round, and Stylum.
Yeah, I want to say 16, but I don't know.
They have managed to now get control of B. It's a good old honest 2 versus 2, but honestly with NB being one of the players on the other side, I would not be feeling confident that I could win this. They're just going to take their time. Surveying.
Oh yeah, back in the day, back in the day, bro. A lot of things were fine and okay. But now we're like, how unsafe the world is now. Getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Hold on.
Dead 2 rights. That is perfect team play and a great way to get back in and around. You probably shouldn't have won if you're Stylum.
Absolutely, and that's a tough cross to break through because you gotta at least take out one player off the opening shot. If you don't do that, the round's pretty much over right there. You would think some adjustments.
CS still doesn't have age limit, doesn't?
Do see 2 players once
like 16
on over to the B side, but this time they're getting aggressive. There's nobody there for Stylum, but may provide an opportunity.
I thought it was 16.
Right there.
I could be wrong.
And they fall off, no nobody going on over to that B side. Envy this time not connecting with opening shots, still finds a way to find one, but 2 kills go through for Stylum. They equalize things here into a 3v3, and Bomb Planter should have been able to make his way forward. Bomb goes down right here. Now the pressure on for the retake. Big opening gunfights, but they go the way of NA fall-offs.
Place save? No.
Not going to be able to make it happen. Shane closes out the round and should be able to find the defuse right here.
Okay. Stop. Stop it. The amount of times that I've seen Search stories where
it's
early
like
on the player likes to get a bit cheeky,
we had to make changes in order to make it safe, but it's still not like safe. That's why there's always like age limits and all that stuff for things like this.
Disconnect happens, you know. Not gonna happen there though. NA fall-offs 4-2 off the defensive rounds for them. Stylum now. At least
yes, you could do things to make it,
a little bit. Those first 3 rounds were difficult,
more safe, but like,
but they seem to have made the necessary adaptations.
It's not gonna always be safe. Things were okay back then, but now, you know, things are changing.
Because things are spread pretty thinly, and even for NA fall-offs on the other side, right, they are just trying to catch some vibes at the moment. Play slowly, get a feel for where Stylum are at on the defense, and then pick it apart from there.
Might be certain restrictions on how old you have to be the comedian.
Yep. Once again,
yeah,
very different approach from what we saw on the flip
Shane?
side. And a fall off.
I'm pretty sure rank. I'm just gonna say rank 4, but like that's like no disrespect. I'm pretty sure he's somebody from rank and trying out comp. That's the best way to say it. Well, like there's no disrespect to anything, or like there's no disrespect to that. Pretty sure he's somebody who's a rank 4. But now he's trying out comp.
I don't think Washington.
That's what I'm thinking. I do not know.
The doorway, and once again, all that does is give Stylum a bit more information.
Stylum still haven't figured things out here. On the defense, NA fall-offs still trying to get a feel for what's going on there. Very swiftly, down to 40 seconds in the round. Before long, they have to make a move. They have to make a comp. It feels like it's been made. It's going to be a B hit. The world
got eliminated. He didn't get eliminated. They still have lower bracket. We're gonna watch the lower bracket of this.
Can the trade comes through from
right? Unravel's on what team again? Lurker. The ARP.
Another one as well.
Phenomenal execution right there. They storm it. They get the bomb down. Now 3 players left for the retake. He does the opening damage to take down Shane, but still. So much that they got to deal with, and with how tight
the problem with earnings is that there's like 2 tournaments a year.
With Washi holding that doorway now makes things nearly impossible for Klein Sita. Washi going to be able to find another pick right there. That's now 8 on the board for him, and NA fall-offs continue to dominate here as they take the opening round here on the offensive side.
Yeah, and NA fall-offs really did take their time to survey what the defense looks like. opening info from Washi will be that now 2 players have made their way over towards B. Has to be said, that's not exactly a different look from Stylum. It is the exact same setup as before. Vito trying to help out both with the mid-cut and B. But if I'm honest, I think the preferable play would actually be to have Graffito in sight, because that was the problem for Stylum in the previous round. They lost B site control down to the fact that Fiction was so easily overwhelmed. Playing out the exact same setup again is not going to make things any different, but the opening look has been made. Fiction will now make the comp. Graffito, I need help. Help has now arrived, so now it's a little bit more palatable over towards B, but NA Falloffs, they still technically speaking have the option to go A here.
And Envy gets spotted out right there, but assuming the shot did not connect, he's going to be able to back up. Now a little bit of a pre-fire shot right there to give Graffito that information. NA Falloff's just not really wanting to overcommit here, but at some point you got to pick a spot and look for the breakthrough. They're going to continue to make their way forward.
ARP,
If
okay.
they can clear Ecstasy right here, could be absolutely
Yeah, they still have lower record this, so if ARP beats STY, if STY loses, I have a feeling Falloff's gonna win. But if ARP if ARP beats the team whoever goes to the lower bracket, then you know they qualify, I think, for challenge finals, whatever. I think, I don't know. Oh wait, there's actually another lower bracket in Group A. I don't know how the lower bracket system works, but yeah, they just gotta beat the team in the lower bracket. Not eliminated yet.
Down to the fact that XT wasn't keeping his teammates back. NA Falloff's now just 1 round away. And you're right to call out the sniper prowess right now for Washi and for Envy. 20 kills for the snipes is absolute insanity. Shane wants to get a taste of the action through the middle of the map here. Might well have a freebie versus Ecstasy, and absolutely does. That's the opening pick once again. Stylum now split between the 2 sites. Raballo nade over the top. That's 1 player taken out of A. Slowly but surely, Stylum are starting to lose their footing in this round.
I don't even feel like it's necessarily fantastic game plan for NA Falloffs, but they've just won so many of those opening engagements and breaking down those Stylum players one by one as the bomb goes down over on the A side. Nobody remotely close. You got Washi just watching the entirety of the mid map right here. Should be able to find one. He's not gonna find that one, but
wait,
gets the information.
does he call out?
Another player.
Okay, no, okay, he
left
knows.
all alone in 1v4. And I think at this point, he's probably just trying not to get executed. Jez going to push forward right here. Shotgun does come out, but Raballo not going to play around with his food as NA Falloffs now go up 2-0 in the series.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think this is about as gone just as well as I expected, to be honest, between these 2 teams. No disrespect to Stylo, because at the moment I think they are just getting outplayed in a variety of different situations, and that Search and Destroy, I will say, did evolve over time. I think down to the fact that Stylum had made the necessary adaptations, right? I think it's fair to say, first 3 rounds were super duper aggressive, Washi and Envy just basically running riot. There was 10 kills in those first 3 rounds for those guys, by the way, which is absolute insanity. As Stylum started to stabilize a little bit, though, there were those 2 rounds back to back where they had made those necessary adaptations. It was NA Falloffs to step it up just a notch. And then I think as we switch side on the offense, I will say NA Falloffs, they did show a little bit more respect for Stylum on defense, right? They weren't being super aggressive. We saw it, I think it was in round number 7 off the first offensive round for NA Falloffs, where they were taking their time. Like, they were just surveying. They were like, look, let's not play stupid here. Let's actually figure out what the defensive setup looks like.
Oh, you're gonna see, okay.
Before making
that
informed the next 2 rounds, which of course inevitably led to NA.
If you're tired and go to sleep.
Victory. Look at the end game score.
Running around like his rank.
Surprise, surprise. Washi comes out on top with 12 frags to his name. Shout out to the snipes in that game, man. Just absolutely insane. You got 2 of the best sniper players in North America on the same roster.
Yeah.
It feels like.
But I expected a lurker, though.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen. It was gonna happen. It's just things were in early development during
one of the best, if not the best,
during their early stage, you know.
Still got it. Obviously, still questions of are they going to be able to.
It's the same thing as bro. It's the same thing as, like, you know, Valorant.
Obviously,
the what is it?
the series.
Is it East?
Once again, now
What is it? The East side is like
a team is
basically the East side is doing really good, like China team and all that.
Especially with the way things have looked so far in this one.
Yep, this has been a great
So
series. If you're an NA fans,
those regions, whatever, China and all stuff is like really good.
Rabalo fans in chat.
Rabalo fans in chat? Well, if you're a Rabalo fan in chat, hey, this is the series for you. NA Flawless are having a whale of a time here. They're skating through the series. If you're a Stylum fan, again, not too sure if that exists. If you're a Stylum fan,
damn, that's crazy.
This has not been that great. Again, the win condition we kind of gave to Stylum was that they could maybe take NA fall-offs on the newer maps in the rotation, because you're certainly not going to take them against NA fall-offs on the older maps. We go in a raid control. This has literally been in the map set forever. If these guys don't know how to play raid control at this point, they probably should not be playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, he's talking about bringing Lucas to NA. That's what he's talking about, Prince.
If they want to take out
if you're confused.
All right. Fallout's going to be on defense to start in this one. Utility all across the mid-map. And only one player here to defend. That's going to be Rabalo. He's going to be immediately shut down. Players sneaking through mid for NA fall-offs. That's Washi and Jez to do the damage. And Fiction spotted out right there. Jez moving on him to absolutely clear off the B zone. That's 1 kill to 5 to get things started right here. It looks like they're looking to get aggressive to set up that spawn trap early.
Stylum already down 5 lives in this round. Trade will not help that situation ultimately, but Stylum do clear out a little bit of pressure towards bedroom side. So path has now opened up. Stopping the clock here. Graffito taken down from Rabalo. Now back towards ring. Does Rabalo go? Looking for some more value. Will not find it, but NA fall off to side. Now's the time to hit from behind. Jez up front and personal with the SMG will find a couple of kills. Washi on the flank will not actually find any value whatsoever. That's a big kill to lose because now Stylum can hop on to this point. NA Force will have to hit the reset here if they want to get back towards it and stop it. Big first frag on towards Graffito from Shane. Clock still going. NA Fall-Off setting themselves up for the flanking play. Now just down to Jez. Slowly but surely.
You play those supports more, boy? Yeah.
Has to activate here and has to do it. There we go.
I'm somebody who plays what's the word? Again, pronounce good, but I'm somebody who plays multiple games. You know, I like playing like other games, so I just want those games to be released so I can play and stream it. You know,
as long as he's alive, he's gonna keep people guessing.
It's always these. It's always the thing about MOBA is there's always beta until like the global release. It's like, just bring the game already, bro. I don't want to keep playing beta after beta after beta after beta after beta after beta after beta. That's just the thing, dude.
Finally do get shut down right there. Yuhi with the trade. It looks like they're actually going to get A locked in, and Shane going to be the lone man here to defend the opening push. Big first point of contact right here, and he's going to be able to find that kill. That gives them.
Does this suddenly works in NA when Aussies and the orgs just release a purge or what? I mean, that's up to the orgs. They release or they wait until like the day of the contract and day whatever.
The fact that they've only got 1 tick of progression required on towards B makes this a plausible situation.
Usually, you just wait until the day of the last day of the contract, like the end day. End day, what's the word? The term? It's over? I don't know.
This is one of those situations in a 3 versus 5 where I necessarily wouldn't hate it. Play call has been made. Ecstasy's going to be the flanking player. He'll be having to face Washi and Envy on this push. Shots out towards Envy. Would have liked a clean fight there. It's not going to happen. Envy survives the joust and backs away.
I'm waiting for Rainbow Six Mobile.
Now, I talked about them having over.
I'm waiting for of those mobile games. I'm just waiting for them to be released, man.
Making this look a lot more plausible, but you need that trade. Jez taking down Ecstasy makes this all more untenable.
They got those operators, but it's just not worth the risk at this point. Jez can be able to drop one. All down to
you. You try to melee abuse.
Fall-offs win the round, but definitely not in a convincing way. Especially how strong they looked off the start right there. We'll see if they can flip sides and on the offense maybe be a bit more convincing. They've got
China was so dominant. Yeah.
You got that war machine for Rabalo.
China was so, dude. China.
So far.
It's not just.
Mid gonna be able to land shots through smoke. Jez popping the equalizers. And the opening damage
China
has
does so
been
much
done. They've got a
botting
lot
and
of
so
map
much,
control and a lot of real estate
you
to work with
know,
over toward B.
learning
Investment coming out
all
from
that
NA
stuff.
Fall-offs now.
It's
Jazz
not.
needs to do some serious damage and behind the
And
front. Cause some chaos to Style.
you play ranked
Really was keeping
to
an eye out for it,
like
but Shane's gonna take him down. Finally
not get washed, and you play scrims, get off.
All the while,
That's
watching
basically how ranked
Style
NA
all
is.
by his lonesome. He is
I don't know about Lion, but I'm just saying
still
like NA, obviously.
Lion's gonna walk away though for the moment.
Now, if we had an actual scene, like actual scene, will NA be different or will NA just be the same?
It kind of feels like Washi just
Who
got the
knows?
B point for free.
China does everything. They rank they learn about the game, like learn nade spots, all that stuff. They go out their day to do stuff that seems small, but it's useful. Bought in, coach stuff, all that stuff, dude. They're so invested into COD Mobile and all that stuff. It's not just wake up, play rank to not get washed at the game and play scrims and then get off. Not like that. Or it's like that for NA. But for China, no, it's not.
Looking for something is the death machine's taken off the table, and a 7-life lead and a minute and a half to work with. NA Falloff's got to be feeling comfortable, but still could work with a little bit more map control.
Yeah, it's the life differential between these two teams right now. I think that's the biggest issue. It kind of looming over Stylen with almost 1 minute 20 on the clock. There's almost no way that it doesn't come down to lives at this stage in the round. Shane and Envy will combine for 2. Graffiti, Ecstasy, and Yuhi left alone in this situation. The former of those two players do find a little bit of value, but there goes Ecstasy. War Machine being pulled out from Yuhi right now to try and salvage this round. I'll be honest, I don't like it. I think, you know, forehead off.
Run that back.
In the round, Shane and Envy will combine for 2. Graffiti, hunting pellets.
Yeah,
what?
You'd need a lot of double and triple kills. I just don't think there's even enough time for players to respawn for that to happen. So, obviously, the game is a long shot at this point, but that certainly didn't give you any better of a chance. Envy's going to pop the claw early, as it's once again NA Falloffs getting aggressive early in the round. 2 operators in play as Roballo able to find one with the War Machine, make it 2 right there, and that is 6 opening kills, make it 7 for NA Falloffs. Completely in the driver's seat from start to finish in this one. And Shane, one of those newer players in North America, looking to make a name for himself, certainly looking strong here as he's got 16 kills to his name, and they are absolutely wiping the floor with Stylum to close this one out.
And not even really doing it with operators as well. It has to be said, they utilized so much in that last round that NA Falloffs don't have them to work with here. Don't even need them. Stylum being bullied here in this round. 40 seconds to pull out something special. NA Falloffs continue to oppress. Spawn trap that we haven't seen in quite some time. Also now starting to come out from NA Falloffs here on raid control. Players no choice but to go back from, I think some players have even put down their phones. 30 seconds on the board kit. Little push from Stylum on towards a point. Fiction found out though. Washi and Envy going to be the ones to find those frags. Just down to Klein. He will only find 1 kill. Bobby, this feels like it's done.
Yep. You got players just trapped in that garage area. Envy.
No, yeah, that's what I'm asking, John. If we had an actual like proper org or whatever, getting paid well, proper salary, will NA actually put in work into the game? That's my question. We don't know that. I don't know that, you know?
Right there, and the experience absolutely showed out for NA Falloffs.
Yeah, and that was a good control as well. Just like fundamentally speaking, it's what we always talk about, right? You know, in the basics of Call of Duty Mobile sometimes is just getting your operators right, and we go.
Yeah, Roballo is fine.
It's
fine, whatever.
Stylum actually had to work for round number 1, as did NA Falloffs. Going into round number 2, though, we saw a triple operate usage coming out. That set the stage, I think, for.
I mean, they're showing highlights, I guess, but here for now.
Here in the life differential between the two teams at the end of round number 2, and then even in round number 3, man. I mean, it's just fundamentals. The way these guys play as a team when they want to try you guys were seeing it there in that round number 3. A phenomenal kill differential between these two teams. Jez 24 and 11, 20 and 13 from Shane. Everybody firing on all cylinders, of course. Roballo also up there at 18 and 6. And On
They
the other
would?
side, the
You don't
likes of
know them
Prime,
like that.
Fiction, and
You mean they
Ecstasy
would?
shut down,
You don't know
totally
them.
not even really
Can't say
in
they
control.
would.
And they fall off, setting the precedent right now for what we should be expecting from this
You're
team.
just saying that just to say it, but you don't know them like how I know them.
The amount of experience
And how
that
everybody else knows
anybody
them
that can
who was
pop
in
on
the
at any
scene.
point in time,
The actual
they showed
scene.
in that one.
Yeah, I mean, we had big expectations of them, but also weren't sure what they were going to be bringing to the table.
You guys
I
are a
think
chat.
that
You
they
guys
showed
see
exactly
stuff that when we hit that
why
live
we were
button,
hoping
you don't see what goes on behind the
what that
scenes in like
experience can
the
do
group
with this
chat,
level of
Discordia,
competition. They
stuff like
feel
that
like
during
in that
scrims,
upper
all that stuff. You
bracket,
don't
in the
see them.
future,
What do you
will
mean
face
they
off
would?
against
What?
OnMythic for one of those spots
You don't know them like
into
that.
the challenge finals. Whoever loses that matchup will eventually drop down into the lower bracket and face off against the winner of our next match. If you guys at home are just joining us,
And they doing well in
they just
Apex.
lose to NA Follows, but
It's
once
so
again,
random.
they are not out of the competition. You saw them drop down into that lower
Has the
bracket, and they have one
Apex
more opportunity to stay
Apex
alive
scene
and
started
facing
yet?
off against ARP now in the final match of the day. So we'll have to see which of our teams can bounce back from a loss a little bit better, which of these
No, I'm
two
pretty sure-
is better prepared
pretty sure it's
for
still
their
the
maps,
offseason.
but either way,
For Apex.
it's still going to be a good competition, fighting for that last spot, because this is do or die, Bobby. We get through these fast, okay? We are eliminating a team already for Group B, so they have to fight with everything they have.
Anyone? I hope.
No question about it. I think ARP should feel rejuvenated just because they've had a little bit of time to bounce back, maybe to look back at some VOD and see what mistakes were happening. Unfortunately, if you are Stylum, you don't get any time. You got to head straight into it and just pray that your map picks are there to be able to make the adjustments that you need to have a chance in this one.
You saw Wash's Tundra loadout? I
feel
do not know
terribly
it.
uncomfortable because you're going up against an ARP that I think certainly underperformed in their
Yeah, that's what I'm
matchups.
saying. Is
I
new.
don't think it's over by
Basically,
any means, but you definitely got to lock in
A lot
the
of
set.
sometimes when people get into so if we had a scene that had like, you know, salary, good enough salary, blah 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 blah, people are gonna get too comfortable and they're gonna get lazy and weird.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by
Like-
Snapdragon Elite Gaming.
Yeah, people are gonna get too comfortable, lazy, weird. It's just not give effort anymore. Because what is there to give effort? It's weird. I'm saying this. It's weird.
Looking at how the Eastern teams have built an identity that has been very successful compared
This is a podcast that they did like
Maybe Tech,
days.
starting with you, since you've
Like I don't know how many
experienced
days ago, but like days.
After traveling to India, you kind of,
I watched this for a little bit. I don't know how long they put this here. I'll watch
I
it.
feel like India
Got a
was
20-minute break.
the very best place to play from, mainly because you could play China, you could play Europe. I mean, if you wanted to play NA, your middle ground is Europe. You play Philippines, you play Japan. I think being there was like you're more involved into the competitive nature rather than NA. You have LATAM, and nobody likes playing Europe and NA. I'm
Yeah,
being honest.
they take a lot of things for
Not gonna
granted.
practice, and it's like. What are you supposed to do in the West? Like that's the real question. You play 1 year for one event, because maybe two, but over in the East, they have the Chinese league, CDM, CDSI, CDFI. They have their own little Asian league. It's like it's more involved for the players, and the West just has not caught up to that whatsoever.
So you're saying more along the lines of the amount of opportunity has helped develop the East, maybe more so than the play style differences that inherently have been kind of created?
Yeah, so I think a big thing with the West is like they just want to be involved in something, but there's nothing for them to be involved in. There's no incentive to like, oh, I want to play the game, like I want to be better, I want to compete versus these people. Like there's none of that in NA, and I've competed in NA for a long time. I can tell you nobody has that, for sure.
Bob, you want to follow up? I know because you had a little bit of a jump start with running your own opportunity, with Mobile Mayhem, trying to get that off the ground and try to create more opportunities. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a number of different factors. I think the decrease in NA viewership following kind of their fall off, I would
kind of say after 2022 that's contributed to the difficulty of running grassroots esports for COD Mobile, because at the end of the day, like, viewership drives sponsors make tournaments possible. So if you don't have the funding to, number one, be able to provide prize pools, and number two, be able to actually hire staff, there's not really any way that you can run a successful league without funding directly from COD Mobile. So I think that, combined with the cost of living, especially in North America, makes it really, really difficult for anybody to really consider themselves a pro player, which is why we've seen pro players go to other regions. Number one, because there's more esports support. Like, I think especially as far as mobile gaming, there's not a lot of mobile orgs, or at least orgs that take mobile seriously. We've seen them see it as an opportunity to try to get some viewership, and then it hasn't panned out because COD Mobile Esports hasn't been thriving to the point where they thought it was going to be, and so they dip after a year or 6 months or whatever it is. So I think having that established league like you have in CDM, or like, I know that this is something that's going to be happening year round. I know this is
Maybe Foss makes to try with you in the team.
Viewership to my brand, and they're willing to invest into players to actually give them the funding that they need to be able to play at the level they want to. But if you're all self-funded, like the majority of NA, the majority of EU, the majority of LATAM, and you've only got a couple tournaments a year that are not going to be able to provide enough for
My
you
Discord's
to
not loaded, man.
make a living off of it, unless you come in first place at the end of the World Championships, it's just really difficult to justify making it your full-time job. And that's why I think we've started to see, or we've really continued to see, that gap grow between the East and the West, is because like Tectonic also said, like, you're a little bit limited in who you can play against, but ultimately the biggest factor is the funding and the backing, and none of the Western teams really have that right now.
Perfect segue to you, Hippo, as being, a coach who's on the back end, more of the kind of managerial logistical side, not just in the individual playing base that we often obviously assume that we kind of talk about with the esports space. What's your thoughts on that whole dynamic?
Yeah, because I fully agree with both Bobby and Tech here, because, I've worked with teams both in the East and the West, and the attitudes between them in terms of how willing they are in terms of to put in extra hours outside of the game and down the line. It's not just a matter of I think there is a matter of willpower to a certain extent. More so, also, I think that comes, the root of it is just the culture. Because in the East,
it's just how it is.
Players from Blacklist, when I used to work with them, to put in extra hours into the game. I mean, some of them do streaming, some of them do actually are proactive about this, and they have a huge fan base.
So Wave, welcome.
Tournaments that are happening through Garena Masters. That
he's gonna come back, but they've never left.
And as kind of Bobby pointed out, which I think is a massive point with regards to cost of living, for them being,
are you still competing? Not for this tournament.
Just even place at a Garena Masters.
Watch running as of right now.
For them to, regardless of their,
I will see what happens later on.
Have a pretty decent living over in the Philippines, for example, comparative to in North America. If you took that amount of money, it wouldn't really mean much. You might not be even able to pay your rent, to be honest. And so, just given that alone, I think it's very difficult to be able to grow teams in the West. Back when it was like 2022, 2020, like even up to maybe 2023, where the West was still thriving. I was able to nag players like Techie here to to put in a little bit of extra work, but they still had to maintain their own living
space,
which made it so that I couldn't get as much out of them as I wish I could, in terms of whether it be extra hours or extra VODing or otherwise. But with the East now, regardless of what team in the East that you ask, it's very different. It's just, this is their job, this is their work. If you look at CDM, it's effectively a franchise, really. It's effectively a CDL to a certain
it is.
They have these teams that are,
it is a franchise.
Everything
CDM is a franchise
in terms of housing, in terms of living, it's and otherwise their necessary expenses, and they're just getting paid to work and play COD Mobile and and study the game. And so it's a very,
I am follow Tech to China to play
the Philippines or
the whole thing
is
is
it's pretty much they
the whole thing is
for them to justify doing this as their
Tech is joining.
But over here,
Tech was joining the team that was ready made.
So much potential, actually, that's still in the West. I mean, if you just look at Latin America, you have Glories.
I'm pretty sure that's a team that was already made.
Phenomenally talented players.
No, China. I'm pretty sure YouTube is banned in China and all that stuff. It's like, I don't know.
is a group of really talented players as well. But
I don't know if I could live somewhere where like
and also most important,
YouTube is kind of like banned. Because YouTube is my life, man.
that have been dominating. Which, if we're going to reel it back to,
And you gotta understand that
I think
being a pro player is like that's like a side thing. It's not like the main thing. I don't want it to be my main thing. Being a streamer, content creator, whatever you call it, is my main thing. Now going to a place where YouTube is banned is like I can't stream to the people who I want to stream to, you know?
The kind of
You gotta make a Bilbo account? Yeah, but you gotta go on a different platform, which
not much opportunity
is
for
crazy.
Western teams to be able to actually interact with the Eastern teams, which is not just a matter of like server issues of not being able to,
like being a pro player is my side thing. Like it's a second thing. It's not the main thing. My main thing is being a content creator / streamer, you know? I want to stream games. I want to stream, games and all stuff. That's my thing.
How can players feel like encouraged to actually play on that ping, but then B, simultaneously they feel like it's just are they actually feeling like they're actually getting something out of it when the ping is so high, right? Like is what they're actually doing working, or is it the ping that's working, right? In terms of winning their gunfights or not. So
the age-old question when it comes to online Call of Duty. Trust me, that's not exclusive to mobile. Exactly. Let's just take the conversation to its kind of climactic and ending point here, and just reround all this conversation.
Plus, but also
immediately coming up with season 6.
Talk about the team. I believe Tech and Solo were joining the team that was kind of like ready made. You know what I'm saying? Because they already had it was Kings, Cartel, Raph, and I don't know if Seven and Ben was in it before Tech and Solo. I don't know.
About the West and each of the regions.
I mean, for the West, I'm really looking at.
I don't know the whole process because that's already 6 players. Yeah, it's already 6 players or 5, I think. Was it 5? I don't know. It's already 5 players, and they have 7 players total plus coach plus 2 coaches. That's 9 people. There's so many people.
Talent there, and I think a lot of it is just having the funding. They do have more time that they can actually spend putting time into the game. Galoris obviously going to be the team that everybody's looking at. They've been the kings of the LATAM region for a long time.
I know. I want to be. My main thing is being a streamer and being a.
And going back to the server issue,
being a streamer and being a content creator or whatever. I do competitive as a side thing.
So they're very isolated relative to the rest of the world, but there's a lot of talent there. I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do in the upcoming season, and I think that's going to be probably the most well-rounded team, just because we have seen some of the talent dispersion from some of those NA and EU teams to go to other regions. LATAM is the one that's really stuck together, maybe because of language differences more than anything else, but I think that will serve them in the long run to be able to continue to grow and advance. And obviously, going back to the SKS and the Type 63 getting unbanned, the LATAM teams were the ones that were really dominating with that meta, so that could be a change.
I don't know how much I could say about all that, Jez. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Western regions. Any teams you want to keep an eye on, whether it be EU, NA, or Latin America?
Yeah, I think Glorious is a favorite no matter what out of the West. Inside of North America, I think there's probably 2 teams that are worth mentioning. It's Undream and then the Seminole roster. Curious on how the Seminole roster is gonna go, because I know you can do like roster changes and all, so it is possible they roster change. You get like our team didn't get through, so Jez and Marshy is also up for grabs. I could see them going to Seminole if anything was to happen. That would be, most reasonable.
Yeah, because I think Vague's on that team, but he's retired and playing on iPad, so I would not be surprised if they ended up picking up Marshy or Jez in his place, just because I also don't think that he wants to put a ton of time in as far as scrims. I could be wrong on that one, but I would not be surprised if they made that roster swap.
Yeah. And Europe, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Europe is just Europe. I like some of the people there, but like team-wise, man, I'm not really gonna pay attention to Europe.
Dang, not high in the Frenchies, huh?
I love Marvel. I love Marvel.
Hippo, what are you thinking? Who you got your eye on in the Western Hemisphere?
He's playing with a freaking
I
pen.
mean, it's the same thing as what Bobby and Tech said. It's mostly just Glories, on Dream, maybe Sentinel. I think though, I mean, free agents I think is also worth mentioning. As another up and coming Brazilian team, they've shown that they can fight against Glories. Maybe not necessarily fully win a series yet, but they can still put pressure.
Well,
on them,
Judge, I'm talking about the
speaks volumes,
more detailed,
in
but
terms of their
yeah,
ability
like
to
half of it is
roster, for sure. And so I'm just really excited to see whether they're able to kind of dig through the trenches of being unfortunately put into the Western Hemisphere.
How does Follows has 7 players in the roster? I mean, you can make 7. I think 7 is the most you can have for like player wise. I think. I don't know.
At the World Championship, which is
And plus, it's not at work, so they're not like.
So I think it'll be really cool to see them.
There's no like
keep pushing it.
pain issue, whatever.
They've gone through 1 full year of being in the same roster, but now they're
What's up, Lauren?
year 2.
Come back.
That difference is actually huge. Just 1 year versus 2 years of being together, actually.
100%. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our first episode of what we're calling the Call of Duty Mobile Roundtable. Spoiler alert, there is no table, and if we had one, it wouldn't be round. But that's Bobby, Tech, Hippo, I'm Shiv. Thanks for tuning in, and of course, enjoy Season 6. Bye-bye.
Okay. Let me find a video. I didn't have me pause it. Let me try to find a video quick. Let's see, find one real quick. Hold up, chat. Hold up, chat. Maybe we could just watch the Raft one again, but versus AG. G. Right? This is a G, yeah. And then where's my screen? Chat there.
Hardpoint identified.
Okay. Chat in 5 minutes we will be 4 minutes 30 seconds we'll be back on the SPS stuff. The zone break. You guys have players for nah. Nah?
Hardpoint contested.
You're not gonna lie, that's a boring podcast. You're so doofus, bro. What do you think the starting 5? Oh, yo, also, bro. They have 7 players on that roster. All 5 of them all 7 of them wants to be a starter. That's the thing. It's like I feel like being in that team is kind of difficult for any of them because 5 players can only play the game at one time. You have 2 people sitting out, and those 2 people who are sitting out wants to be a main. I'm like, bruh. If I was even there, I would just sit myself out and be a bench player. Cause like you have 7 players that want to play the game and be a starter. Like that's crazy.
EMP systems incoming. Be careful.
I don't know. It's kind of on. You like the podcast? Yeah. It's a new thing. Lurker is just lurker. Yeah. 7 players on the roster, 5 players play, 2 people sit out. I was like, damn.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested.
Like this one right here, Tech is playing. Tech is playing the scrim. But like the video we watched earlier, Tech wasn't playing. It's like, who's the main 5? I don't get it. But obviously they're trying stuff, you know? They're obviously trying stuff. Brennan is apparently really good, like we said.
Capture the objective.
And the question is, like,
We've taken the lead. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed.
so these guys are all friends. Tech, or no, Kings, Wrath, Cartels are all like best friends. If one of them gets sits out, you know there might be some type of hate, maybe. You don't know how
Capture the
their friend bond is, but sometimes these players like to build weird hate bond and start problems. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting thing. Seven is underage? Is he actually? Maybe.
is ours.
Seven's not. He's underage. Okay, then.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Yeah, there's gonna be tension. That's the right word. Tension. Yeah.
Tested.
I'm saying it right. Oh wait, we're back. Hold up.
Every time you guys are watching, scan that, okay? The entire episode of that podcast is on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing start to finish. And Bobby, you got to be part of that. It seemed pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to kind of sit down and talk Call of Duty Mobile with the guys. It's something that we had done back in 2020.
You know, friend of business. Obviously, I know that, Lurker. Nah, I'm saying for them, those you gotta understand NA players. Period. You know, NA. You can just do NA. Period. Okay, that's just how it is. You know, that's how in NA. That's how it works. But obviously, you know.
And then we just watched Stylum.
You never know.
Match number 2. And now it is time for these two teams to face off and see who stays alive in the competition. Whoever loses is eliminated immediately, Brody. So this is for all the marbles.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just for not getting DFR'd, right? And I think this goes extra for ARP in particular because last season, Coldus and Chagaboo got DFR'd out of their group as well, and in a double 3-0 fashion. So they're hoping not.
I was gonna say, what is it? DFR.
If they lose this match 3-0. I wouldn't be happy with that. I mean, you're never going to be happy with getting double 3-0'd, right? But in a situation where it's back-to-back seasons that happening, not so great. Nobody wants to lose in the first round of play, though. That's what the lower bracket's for.
Chemistry-wise, Kings, Wrath, and Cartel should play, but like, oh yeah, okay, that's a common thing people are gonna say. But then, like, you got other people that want to play, like Tech, Solo, like those guys want to play. Those guys want to be a starter. And then what about Ben? What about Seven? Well, Seven, I don't know if he's of age, but it's like it's gonna be that team is gonna be fusing at a moment for a moment.
ARP in the end that actually opted to ban out Raid and instead play Crossfire. So I am very, very excited to see this one and see if this is the ace up the sleeve for them to give them an edge in the series.
Our teams are definitely going to be going out with the bangs. This is going to be
Raph loves shotgun, so he's going to be using shotgun most likely.
Keep everything moving. Match number 3 getting right underway.
All right, we're hoping this isn't a 3-0. We've had 2 3-0s today. I want to see a Game 5 banger in a battle for survival. It would be fun. Hopefully these games are about to deliver. They've already delivered us Crossfire Control, so they've met my expectations for happiness in this series already, and we are definitely gonna see it. With that said though, ARP and Stylen, once again folks, they are battling for survival here. We've got a couple of repeats in this series, both of them search and destroys from the last. Of course, Coastal Search and Destroy, you guys just saw Stylen lose that. And then, of course, the Tunisia Search and Destroy, a couple of mistakes from ARP earlier on that made them lose that. So we'll see those Search and Destroys later on in this best of 5. ARP, though, want to have a good start to this game. I think...
I see why it was playing good earlier against Fallout, so let's see how they good. Let's see how good they do this round.
Going into this, you don't see a massive gap between these two teams just because of the amount of talent that you've got on.
Why do you press his reload? Unless he was like shooting the smoke, I guess.
In this one, you start to see more of the shotguns come out, especially here on.
I said he's gonna be making a shotgun on these SMG, really?
Chagaboo goes big time to hold off the push from that doorway.
But he always like uses shotguns. That makes interesting.
As well, and definitely maybe some of the more experienced reps on.
Like me, I hate using shotguns and scrims. I wanna be a SMG guy. But sometimes when they use shotguns, I have to use shotguns with shots.
Yeah, it's been a great hold from ARP. They've been keeping an eye on every single point of entry in and around this hill. Fiction, Ecstasy going for one last little hurrah towards this hard point. Swish trying to hold on, and Ecstasy will deny. So that double will give scrap away to Stylen, but it's undeniable that was a solid start for ARP. And now as we look towards a rotation, Chagaboo comes out with a surprise two-piece. Nice positioning with the R9. Stylen were not ready for that whatsoever.
R9 and Arsenal, this point is interesting.
They would like Stylen to start to get those back spawns through now, and ARP towards the hard point here, having to deal with players around the back.
As long as you can keep that topside ladder control, you're pretty comfortable with what you've got, and Chagaboo's going to be able to hop down to pick up some time. Stylen do a good job of responding even from those weak side spawns and winning those opening gunfights, so they're going to be able to close some of this gap. Klein Sita going to be able to score some streaks. And it looks like a Pred's actually been earned right here. So even with those weak side spawns, they do a phenomenal job.
A lot of people have reasons.
They've already gotten near 30 seconds on this one.
A lot of people have. Not everybody has the same goal, same vision.
But they're looking to lock in a full 60.
You know.
Yeah, this is solid from Stylen. You talked about the fact that ARP will be fine and dandy if they have top ladder control. Even despite starting out.
Not everyone wants to be a pro player to like this sort of level, you know. Like, let's say,
first feelings have been well and truly battered away.
Like certain
conversation, and as a matter of fact, back in the lead, but we move towards next. This is
there's like a limit.
Start to see some of these operators come out to play.
Okay, for example, if I got an offer from like a different region, for example, okay, example, India. If I got an offer from India, I would accept it because I'm still able to do my YouTube thing. China, YouTube is banned in China, so it's just like not really worth it for what I want to do in life, you know?
Big investment made, but you haven't dealt with Coldest. Last player left alive. Finally, Coldest goes down, and Stylen have successfully broken through.
Yeah, that's not an easy break either, but Coldest is gonna raise.
That was an interesting inning.
He's gonna find 3, doesn't find any value off of that Annihilator. More than likely will get the
like I'm still able to do my YouTube stuff, but I got like an offer from India, accept it, blah blah blah. Like
over to P4. Graffito's got that early positioning. See what he does to deal with Chagaboo as she's shut down right there. Unraveled looking to push through. His presence.
You still want to play with a team you would want to play with? Yeah. Play with a team that you like and also. And like now.
On all cylinders at the same time. ARP early positioning does get shut down right here, and Chagaboo taken out of that hard point just like that. Stylen has found an early break once again.
Stylen is continuing to do this right now. The way that they're playing as a team for these early breaks is insane.
Like,
now looking to follow up with big double coming through with the Tempest.
If
from Graffito with that
YouTube wasn't banned in China,
wiping ARP out, and they will continue to get this,
and I got an offer like that, I'd probably take it because I'm still able to do my things.
Continue to farm these guys, and they're doing exactly that. Chagaboo the only one to find some value all the way down to S4 HP. Only to find 2 with the Sparrow. Is that enough to get ARP in towards the kill? No, it is not. Stylum are still
Shibu.
holding on. One more player to contend with. Nice double from...
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Is actually probably have the best game of anybody across the board here so far in this one at 17 frags. It's going to obtain the back 10 seconds for ARP, but that was a good break from Stylum.
These are huge rotational kills for Unravel.
R9 is good, but you have to play it right in Arsenal. Like right here, this point is good. You can use R9 on this point.
Stylum, but at least softens things a bit right here as Swish looks to push on in. And Coldest with that death machine is going to see what he can do, but he gets shut down. Fortunately for him, his teammates there to reinforce, and Coldest going to look to drop this Pred missile. That's going to take down Fiction, but as that happens, they're taking off the point. Very, very back and forth here on P5 as Yuhi going to pop the War Machine and does some opening damage. Klein Sita not going to be able to hold that heady, and ARP an opportunity to push back.
Stylum once again.
Wait, that's one?
And holding in crucial moments here in this game thus far. ARP, as you said, trying to break back through the
I like picked up my... Oh, I did not mean to do that. Trying to clear the live button. I like picked up my phone and like... That's something I think.
Pick up Fiction, and that should
And we're back.
time here for ARP. More to the point as well, those players could play a part in towards stopping Stylum from touching on Nu. That is exactly what's going to happen. Unravel is playing stopper on the funnel towards Nu, but Stylum approaching from a multitude of points of entry inside this hard point. Players through the windows. Switch will deal with both of those. The vent push is also shut down from ARP. Every single junction that Stylum could possibly have hit the hill from was denied.
I'm not surprised to see that equalizer pop from Switch. A lot of close range engagements right here. Finds one, and even though he's not getting the kills, he pretty much prevents anybody from pushing through, but finds the kills anyway. The Pred is earned. The pre-fire from Coldest through that doorway, gonna find a couple of kills as well. And ARP picking up steam and doing so quickly. Coldest pops his death machine right here. Big time operator investment, but it has certainly paid off for ARP as they are back in
But always is VPN, you care about? But like,
continues to pick
talk
up
about.
those kills.
Yeah, I will say ultimately the thing off this hard point, they have to
Oh, my bad.
transition better in towards P2 because last time around, despite Chagaboot giving Stylum the shock of their lives on the
Yeah, but like,
Stylum were able to successfully
I'm talking about
turn
like,
the spawns back in their favor.
yeah, Bill, but like,
This time around, though, Stylum
about
forcing
chat. The
themselves
chat's not gonna be
back.
English.
Missiles coming out from a couple of players now.
Like you're gonna have some English, obviously some English people. Like that's saying my whole fan base, whatever, my whole community has to download that. And like, I don't know if it's easy, I don't know if it's hard, I don't know that, you know.
And establishing that hardpoint control is.
Oh yeah, but look, yeah. He's saying true though. People re-upload your videos and it gets like hella views.
Right here is unraveled. Still has an annihilator in hand.
I heard stuff about
from that Stylum roster has made their way past the 20 kill mark. Makes it that much more impressive that they've
what is
managed
it?
to say
I'm pretty sure somebody told me before. Somebody uploaded like one of my stream gameplays and like on Bill and like it like popped off.
Only 15 seconds remaining on this one. You gotta wonder, is it worth it?
Yeah, a lot of questions from me there for Stylum. I think, you know, you kind of panic at this point in the game. You know that is a lot of time you've just given away to ARP, so you start to make a few sloppy decisions here and there. It can definitely snowball out of your control. That might be a moment we look back on at the end of this game if ARP are able to take away the victory. So far, so good, though. As far as getting control of the early hill here is... Thorn Flip. Is it being
entire stream?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I saw videos. Or like I got DMs saying like my videos on Bilbo and it like popped off and all that stuff. Or like one of my stream gameplay, like video wise, I don't know, something like that.
Oh, that's huge for Swish. More kills, surely not. Graffito will trade out, but the damage is done.
I mean, he is already looking like one of the most lethal equalizer players in North America. So many big plays out of him, and ARP continue to rack up time here on P3, now up 70 points. Slow start for them in this one, but they have certainly locked in, and despite a slow game from Cryzo, the rest of the team firing on all cylinders. Chagaboot will at least have 1 HP. No kill to be found, but only 10 seconds needed.
I believe competitive wise, the 1019 is better competitive wise.
Swish gonna throw down the smoke right there and see if that affords them enough breathing room to break on in. The operators do come out for Stylum, as it looks like they're gonna be able to ward off the initial push, but Yui's gotta go huge here with the War Machine.
Gotta find something. Yuhi opens things up with the first couple of kills. On the other side, though, Kryzo not finding anything with his War Machine, gonna get shut down. Kryzo still technically speaking in the play. Yuhi decides to bring that Predator missile down. Off the back of it, you will now know where ARP is spawning. Kryzo's still alive here with War Machine, by the way. Finally gets shut down, but this is perfect for Stylum so far. Maybe one player, though, could break it wide open. Swish, completely unaware, will at the very least take one out of the play. Spawn flip now starting to come through. ARP could get it done on the scrub time. 2 big kills for Unravel, and they could still finish things here as long as Stylum don't touch.
Shut down the later, but they got the point.
What the
line. One more player left to deal with. ARP
is he
down, and they take home map number 1. Slow start for them, but they bounce back in a big way. And obviously, Swish, one of the newcomers, playing a very big factor in that win.
Honestly, I'll go ahead and say, I mean, I know Swish's play, we'll get to that in just a second, was basically the thing, I think, that solidified it in the end. But on the whole, ARP turned it up a massive, massive notch.
One's a play
control was formidable. It was a massive investment. I think it was one of the players coming out for ARP.
I had trouble reading it, but I know
in the second set, it was up to that point pretty much a 50-50 game.
Big
stretch between Stylum and ARP. Stylum was taking a lot of time away from ARP, but this was the moment where ARP came flying back into the game. Double Predator missiles coming out from Coldus and Swish to ensure that they did get control of the rotation, and then this big play from Swish, tearing everybody a new one off the rotation. Chaining together 3 kills back to back like that is never going to be tenable for the opposition, and it most certainly was not for Stylum there. ARP starting this series strong, big way to end that hard point.
And just crazy stat lines for Coldest and Swish. 43 and 19 with 2 minutes, 37 and 22 with 2 minutes. They go massive right there and take a much needed opening map to, at the bare minimum, avoid getting double 3-0'd, which we talked was something that happened last challenge season to Chagaboo and Coldest. On the flip side, it's really impressive that Stylum was able to keep it close at all, given how big the kill gap was. I think the teamwork is there, but maybe a bit of a gun skill gap showed in that one. We'll see if they can make some adjustments as we get ready to head into Search and Destroy.
I mean, honestly, it literally was just the second set of hard points, excuse me, where ARP just turned things up. So Stylum were...
Oh, they actually shut it really fast. Never mind.
Just started to lose control for the second half. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. What they
is this something that prove your aim got aimbot?
Search and destroy. Going back to
okay,
ARP,
I'll be back.
I think there were a few holes in the gameplay where ARP
got aimbot.
have tightened things up. And these guys at this level of Call of Duty Mobile will definitely know it as well. So they'll be going in with this one knowing that they can make a few changes and look a lot better for it and not lose this time around. Off the start, aggression from ARP through the middle of the map. This is not a look that we saw from them in the first series earlier on today. As stun comes out from Ecstasy to try and put a stop to this one. And traded will come out from Kryzo. So ARP still with the numbers here. Graffito does not care. Snipes on towards Swish. Now 2 versus 3 as Unravel takes down Fiction, but the last remaining players on Stylum are split. Gotta see something huge, and that's quick scope from you. He is huge enough.
He's left in a 1v2 right here. Pretty split from the rest of these players. The nade goes over top. Not going to be enough to take out Kryzo, unfortunately for him. And the bomb's down right now, so he's going to look to make a wrap toward top winery right here, if I had to guess. But actually, he's picked up a sniper. Slides the corner looking for a pick, but that's not going to be afforded to him, but timing might go his way. Ryzo running out. I think he's got an audio cue to work with, and an opportunity is Chagaboo now into a 1v1.
You're fine with this. Yuhi's playing this perfectly, right? There's no reason to go over aggressive on towards Chaga. She has the pre-aim and is on the hunt for this kill. Chaga thinks this is a push through winery. That's not the case whatsoever. Now go back to the bomb because time's starting to dwindle here in this round. Yuhi's position is perfect. Not sure if Chaga's got the audio cue here. The push might be perfect. Checks mid. Yuhi has just got some COD timing though on the backside. Chaga goes for the push. Does she get some good timing here? Does she check the corner that Yuhi's been sitting in? Yes, she does. And there is the kill. Chaga had to check every single crevice of Tunisia Search and Destroy around the B site there. Will end up getting it done, but my oh my, butts were clenched.
And that was a great spot, but an even better read for a much-needed opening round for an ARP squad that had a very up-and-down Tunisia search and destroy. This time, a very different look as they full send it over here on to B. Chagaboo. Nade connects right there. They're going to be able to take that lower position, but still 2 players on height.
Yep.
Kryzo's going to be able to take down Ecstasy, so now it's on to Yuhi to find a pick right here, but he doesn't have any angle to work with. Coldest, I don't think, realizes that there's still a player on site. So Yuhi could still make something happen right here, but it's going to be first point of contact, and that's a huge opener.
Yeah, there goes Yuki. You need Yuki still alive in this play. Would now have to be an ace from Klein.
Back.
Is getting a really good
I found myself a scorpion.
for ARP on the defense of this site. All of a sudden, what was a 1 versus 4 becomes a 1 versus 2. There is surely no way that Klein pulls this off. 15 seconds left. You have to up the ante somewhat. Klein has just got out towards the exit. He might be able to catch these players off guard. Shot.
That's an unfortunate,
more player left to take. It's unraveled.
unfortunate miss.
Not able to pull a miracle off.
It's not over yet.
1 versus 4 denied. But ARP continue to make the defensive plays here on Tunisia look shaky.
Yeah, that was way closer.
Turning off
than it
my
needed to
aim.
be.
I turn off aim
No
assistance
question
to
about
see
it,
my eyes.
especially when
Help.
you know that
Huh?
where that one player is, and only 1 point of exit with the amount of time that was left on the clock. They take the round regardless, and now up.
Mr. 105, no way, man.
Right here this time, a much slower approach from this ARP squad, looking for picks, trying to see if they can get Stylum to over-aggress. And nearly an opportunity for a snipe across mid, but they back things up. Looks like for the time being, Stylum will look to
You kind of
capitalize
prefer
on
vertical,
what they
really?
have here on the defensive side.
Oh. I don't know,
He just
because
gonna
like
face one slowly, and there's no real
I don't
reason
know.
to
I never
get over aggressive.
open up
You know you
YouTube
are
and
your
say,
face.
oh, or I never open up YouTube and say, not say, but like look for like a
Just
vertical
as
video, you know?
team, ARP
When you have like you TikTok for that, you
might
know?
get something going towards A. Certainly going to look in that direction at least. Defensive setup is relatively standard, so Unravel might be able to find something. Wasn't looking in the right direction though. Graffito's going to take Unravel down. That makes things infinitely more awkward here for ARP.
Yuhi just patrolling this B site, but nobody really in position to challenge, but he's able to spot Chagaboo out of position right there. Just like that, the lives are equalized, making an advantage for Stylum. He does get traded out right here, but the damage has been done. Coldest tries to sneak on through, but he's going to get shut down, and that leaves Kryzo all alone in this one. Really left guessing and needs an absolute miracle right here. Only 20 seconds left. 4 players left to deal with. This round is all but over. His Fiction is going to be there to clean things up and take the first round for Stylum.
That's a very standard round of search and destroy. Feels like right out of 2024 Tunisia, if anything. ARP just could not get anything going on the offense. Stylum were not giving anything away for free.
Level 5 fingers to fit you like a dog. I'm not a fan of 5 fingers.
First round on
I
the
don't
board
know.
here.
I haven't.
Utility over the top towards A.
I tried it.
Will
Wasn't a
connect
fan.
onto Graffito.
I don't know.
That's a big player out of the side as well. Graffito has been a consistent problem.
I
on
like playing
defense
4
towards
fingers and
side.
just being comfortable.
Graffito being down. ARP know
I
that
don't
the anti now searching for the other player on the site. XT wins the fight. Trade is fine though if you're ARP, as long as you don't lose Chagaboo. You do. You've also lost Coldest towards the middle of the map, and what was a really promising round here now starting to crumble in front of ARP's eyes.
Kryzo seeing if he can regain something from here. Once again, no real idea of what they're working against as the bomb does get picked up by Unravel right here, looking to plant. And Stylum seemed to be very, very content to play for the retake. First point of contact going to be everything right here.
I think, yeah, I've heard but sometimes
Unravel doesn't want to overextend. Yuhi pushes up. Klein Cena finds one.
makes sense.
Down
Everybody
to
have their
Kryzo.
own
He's gotta
preference,
make it
obviously.
1v3 finds 2 right there. An opportunity, but
Yeah, there's no way
cleans
you're winning
things
that.
up. And now 2 rounds
No
in
way.
a row go the way
Nice
of
try, though.
Stylum as
Happens.
they tie things up here too.
Hey, who has overclock?
I felt like Raven
Is
was wrong
it-
for a second there, mate. I had a vision of the future.
ARP member?
Kryzo was
Who
gonna
had
come up that
the-
1 versus
I think I saw
3, just
earlier.
a little bit better of a slide away, and there's a chance for Kryzo to pull something off that he should never be able to do.
Ah, Kryzo.
Denied though, 2 net 2
Good
now.
job.
Search and destroy. Stylum starting to
Overclock.
get something to work.
Yeah, that should be, wait, that should be a
Same
tweet.
look that we saw back in round number 1. Aggression through the middle of the map. Fiction will respond. Why are we hitting the reload almost into a gunfight? Fiction gets basically a freebie off that play, and now ARP is stuck in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and they've got to take a risk one way or another to try to get out of this position that they've built. Unravel an opportunity to find a pick right here, but no overextension from Stylum, and now kind of left guessing as to the position of those remaining players. Unravel's still looking for any piece of information he could finally
Why did they
find,
just do
but
that?
nothing really to be gained right now, and it looks like they're finally
Oh,
going
it's
to push into this B site
to
to see
the
if they can
red
find
bar.
something that is absolutely crucial from Unravel to find one. Wish he could have had two, but at least the opening damage has been done to be able to get that bomb down.
Yeah, you've lost Coldus on the cut, though. So now this is a good old honest 3 versus 3. At the very least, he's finally been dealt with towards the back line, but more damage still to be on. Chrysler, don't get over-aggressive here. No need for it. Currently just throwing some wide shoulders against Graffito. You've lost XC on the cut now. Flanking play for Klein has to be everything in this moment. Unravel.
Oh my god, it's so blurry because they did it like by pause.
Graffito on the other side. Klein will get that timing, though. Brings us down to a 1 versus 2. Now 1 versus 1. Chryso picked off. You know where Chagga's generally speaking going to be. The check from Klein is here, as is the kill. It's a 1 versus 3 for Klein.
What?
Oh my gosh. Absolutely massive for Stylum as they now take 3 rounds in a row.
Wait, what? Dude, the photos keep going blurry, I think.
ARP, that's a round that you have got to close out. And that
I can't get a good quality photo.
not looking quite as comfortable anymore. As Stylum have come storming back in this one and have certainly built some momentum for themselves in a round.
It's very good quality.
Very easy to close out for ARP.
Very good quality, bro. Just give me a good quality one.
Sniper in hand.
Yeah, finally.
First point of contact over here on the A site, and it looks like they're getting ready to full send it. An absolute bloodbath about to ensue right here. Chagabu's going to be able to find the 2 to open.
Yeah, this round's done. This round's done already. Although we did just see a 1 versus 3, so...
Yeah, I was going to say...
Maybe? Yeah, never mind.
There we go.
All he's going to get, ARP. That is probably the most ARP round of them all so far. Like, actually playing how they should in Search and Destroy. Getting super duper aggressive, clearing out the A site with ease. Big defensive round win. Although it should be said, we have been here before because if you remember last time around, ARP also looked strong on the offense before then going on to lose Tunisia Search and Destroy. So I don't want to count the chickens before we're hatched here.
Oh, Unravel! We've seen that before in this exact same spot. Finds the Colette and gets the information to his team. He picks off another one right there, leaves Ecstasy all alone. Especially with a bomb down right here, it would take a complete blunder from ARP to lose the round. They're not going to let it happen this time around. Unravel, a 3-piece for him as ARP get off to a hot start here on the defensive side.
That's huge from Unravel, and it's worth saying again, you know, last series we saw this from ARP versus OnMythic. Unravel popped off for a couple of rounds on the defense. If you can do that consistently, keep B on lock, Stylum will not have a way in towards that site, and it will become a very one-dimensional offense from Stylum. Fundamentals have to be locked down for ARP, and it feels like that's the case so far. Everybody keeping an eye on every single entry point here, nobody getting over-aggressive. Stylum have to be the ones to make the first move. Just don't get over-aggressive here. Don't do something silly, ARP.
Looks like one player going to extend to top winery. Just looking for information, and the longer this goes on,
Ain't that hungry, you can tell they're playing just to play. I mean,
unfortunately for them,
it is what it is.
Picked by Yuhi off the opening.
I sent it in the meantime. Basically.
A little bit of an opportunity for them to make the.
Is our team? I'm not on a team. I'm not trading.
But are met by trophy systems. Once again, still got to deal with that one-player top winery. It's Swish that's going to be first point of contact for whoever pushes, but Cold is going to find one, another for Swish, and only 2 players remain right here. But trades are found for Stylum. Unravel an opportunity to take the advantage, but now he's left all alone. And unfortunately for him, Yui does not peek his way. This just became much more difficult for ARP, and with the bomb going down right here, he's going to have to single-handedly 1v2. Opening pick's not there.
That was a big kill from Klein on towards Swish. Unravel, as you said, has to have transitioned towards B for the 1 versus 2. Looking to split the difference between these 2 players. Chal across from Yuhi is good. The comm should be made. The snipe from Unravel also not there. No need to push. Unravel somehow avoided the space for the first kill. Gonna get away.
You have a
Now
chance. You have
snipe onto
20
Yuhi. It is a
seconds.
sniper versus sniper battle. Unravel trying to win it, but Yuhi comes out on top. Stylum making it happen right now. Offensive win, and Yuhi goes huge.
Maybe a little bit of an ego right there. Felt really confident in the read, and unfortunately does not go his way.
I don't think that was the ego
Two
play.
teams continually trading
I mean,
rounds as
he-
we've seen really
But that-
powerful adjustments on
He got
both
lucky
sides.
for even lost him long.
Make the push on over to the B side, at least send one player forward to try to get some information. The bomb
Because of the
over on
Hardpoint?
the A side, Unraveled not able to connect for the wall bang right there.
I don't know about this series, but like the first series that they were playing, I believe Coldest was using XM4 and ARP did not have no Odin at all. They had XM4.
Trying not to make
They had
anything
XM4
too easy for the
two
side.
different teams, and I'm like, where's the Odin? And the other team is having an Odin. And then Coldest, you know, kept like he was dying, getting kills, blah blah blah. And then finally he switched to Odin, and then yeah, I don't think he switched off to Odin
Swish is the key player, if anything.
anymore after that. It's like I was like confused because like
was not able to before.
why does the other team know they should have one Odin and ARP does not know that? Now they have the Odin.
50 seconds left. This hit's coming
I don't know. The meta right now is Odin and Sub-19. I don't know why we have XM4. XM4 though, XM4 has good recoil. Like it's easy, really easy, but damage wise, it's not. You know, Sub-19 is better.
It looks like they're all
But Sub-19 has the same like kind of recoil, so like
just looking for that
I don't know.
point of contact and can't manage to find anything. They're gonna send it. Coldest shuts down one, gets eyes onto another, pushing on through. Chagalu's gonna be able to find the kill, and they get ripped to shreds. Swish, Unravel, finds two to close it out, and with the man advantage, Stylum cannot manage a single thing. Huge round for ARP, Cryzo and Unravel now 10 kills apiece.
It has to be said that was a massive
Yeah.
Stylum has to be said.
Is this so many teams in NA? No. No, there's like a couple teams.
On their 1v1.
We were talking about pro teams. Like pro teams that have comp players and all that stuff. Pro players and comp players. ARP, Balos, UD.
ARP where they were very certain of their pushes. Stylum have
There's
been
other
so
teams.
uncertain. They have been playing so slow.
Those are the teams with pro players. I don't know about any more top of my head.
And that's not really
To the
a
NA
viable
side.
strategy. Unravel. If he can pick up one of these kills here, this round might well already be over for Stylum.
He's just praying for a wallbang to connect. He's really
better, yeah.
the anchor for this team over on the B side. Not going to find any information.
Good to see that Org ARP hasn't dropped the combo. I mean,
and once again, usually all pressure onto Chagabu to find that first.
I don't know what kind of org ARP is, you know?
Places. It looks like
they might be a mobile org. That's probably why.
You cannot afford to give up anybody. Swish gonna back up right here, looking for reinforcements. That's
No, Tribe and LG. Tribe might be coming in later on.
Trapped in Stylum, and I don't know why you're pushing forward. You got them exactly where you need them. Chagabu's gonna be able to find one, but you've given away that life advantage.
Tribe likes to probably invest like later on the scene, like not really early maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's fine.
If you guys ever knew how to chuck search and destroy rounds, if you wanted to know, just look at that mid push from ARP. I don't know what that was. That was so poor.
There's no reason to push forward. You got the whole team locked in one spot. You run through single file to hand away the lives. Oh man, that's tough.
Now you got to see a miracle for ARP here. 2 versus 4. Time to dwindle down in this round. 25 seconds. Peek from Yuki. That's information garnered. Chagabu's going to go for the Chow. Should get Chow from the right. Absolutely the case here. Great team play from Stylum. Fundamental Call of Duty for Stylum. And when you get offered up 3 kills, I mean, you're not going to say no, I guess. ARP, why is Tunisia a bad map for you guys?
Yes, yeah. It's called
I don't know what's going on right now, but it's certainly making for an entertaining game. We'll see what ARP can do here to make adjustments wise.
What do you think about setting up an org in the future? That's called money, man. Money that I don't have, dog.
Full committing through One kill for Swish, make it 2 right there. Damage has been done. Yuhi's going to be able to find 1 in response, but Kryzo is there, and 1 by 1 they fall. Fiction and Yuhi left, as Unravel is going to make that wrap back toward the A side. Bomb still not in a plantable position. Swish gets info, finds a kill right there, and now all down to Yuhi for the 1v3.
Just looking for somebody to hit the cross hit. Yuhi will take the kill. Yuhi does have time to work with, so just looking for some kind of over-aggression to at least make this more palatable. ARP aren't going to give it away. This time, learning not to get over-aggressive, it would seem.
Wait, they don't even know bomb is there, but I guess they're just waiting for
the bomb
the
in hand.
plant
If he
B.
so chooses, could
He might go back to A though.
towards B, but I think it's the problem at the back of his mind that he thinks as soon as he's going to turn around, somebody from ARP is going to go on the chase. So just going to go hit A, potentially, maybe on the vibes that ARP will have rotated towards B. That's not the case. Unravel was sitting there waiting. Big round for ARP. That was a stellar execute on the defense.
Seems like he's kind of playing mind games with himself and
Yeah.
overcomplicated things. Now Stylum.
We're still waiting for a hell of mobile games, but
overtime right here. They force
who
going
knows,
down
man.
2-0, and that would be going into the map pick for ARP as well, heading into that control. This time, a little bit more presence over toward the B side as one player has made their way up through mid. Unravel still looking for one of those picks over on the B side and nearly connects through the wall right there. One more shot. Could have potentially had it, but once again, 30 seconds in, yet to see any first bloods. This time, a little bit more presence over toward that B side, and Unravel at least has the information. Question is, does he want to stick around? And Swish is there to reinforce, so they can fight this if they want. More than likely, we'll see Stylum back up off this as these two players are completely isolated, and the bomb could not be in a worse spot.
Stylum again, it's the same kind of thing as early on here for the offense for Stylum. They just do not want to make the move. And for good reason, to be fair. They would, technically speaking, be in a 2 versus 3 in the situation. I think that was a smoke down from Ecstasy to try and escape. So the call has been made. Stylum now on the transition towards A. ARP have read it, though. They are making the necessary adjustments. Target be ready for the jump down from Winery. A Stylum double blinding here? I think they've just double flanked this perfectly. Stylum smoke down gives the impression that it's going to be an A push, but instead now they are fully committed towards the site. There's the confirmation that ARP
Have a free site.
the site. And to be honest, I will say this is a defensive error. There is no reason for all
Nobody
5
still has
players
move
from
at all?
ARP
That's
to be
crazy.
pushing towards A.
Yeah, that was a major overcommit off of not really any information outside of one util throw. So now all the pressure onto these guys to try to retake here. The machine pistol.
He still got the kill though.
And that's absolutely crucial for Unravel. Unfortunately, teammates not going to find the trades, at least not initially, but Colas is there, as is Kryzo. Kleincedo trapped behind the wall, gonna be able to find one, and it's all on to Colas.
You know what both of them are? You know what both of them are? Your teammate called it out.
Spots, one over top of the heady, but can't quite connect.
He knew where they both were.
And to overtime we go.
I was hoping that their teammate called it out. Because they were, bro, they were at the exact same spot still. Stairs and the box. And he didn't even check that. He was just checking the right box. See if they moved.
In the end, now we're going to be seeing overtime from ARP. 6-6 now in this search and destroy.
Where's the SKS? These players don't use
How
SKS.
does ARP, who look like they're stalling somewhat on
Like the
offense?
pro
This is the
players,
same kind of play that we were seeing from
pro
Stylum
players
on
actually
the
use
offense, but it's
SKS.
just
I'm pretty sure.
comparatively to what we were seeing from ARP on their offensive
Like if
rounds,
you
where
play
they seem
against
so much
like
more certain,
Glorious, they probably have SKS. If you play
knocked
against,
to the confidence after that
I
last
don't know.
round.
I don't know if people see it.
It's a pretty similar.
I don't know if
defensive
people see
setup
SKS
out of
in an A.
Stylum to what we saw from ARP in the majority of those rounds. Got Yuhi with the sniper locking.
I don't know
down
any
one player
players off my head that uses
on the left
SKS.
side.
I would say,
This
you know,
goes
maybe
on,
like
more it favors
Kings or
ARP,
Cartels,
but more it
but
favors Stylum.
they're in China,
Forces
so
ARP to
I don't know
get
anymore.
Something right here. Coldest not quite close enough on that nade to connect. Still looking for any shred of information that they can find. Absolutely none to be found right here. Is at some point or another they're going to have to commit.
You can't can't just sit here. You got 45 seconds. Like Stylum aren't going to get over aggressive. They are not going to make such an error. Got to go. 5 seconds on the clock now. Nade over the
STY is on the back team, guys.
It should connect. No, it doesn't. Bounces off the wall. That's so unfortunate. XT will remain unfazed. If anything, that nade being over the top now is going to be the information with 25 seconds left. That the kit is incoming. Klein Sita going to make one player up top weak. That should be good enough for the trade. Yeah, nicely done. Stylum playing this one to perfection. Unravel here for a 1 versus 4. Almost gets a call out towards Klein and Fiction, but that's going to be denied. And ARP just spent way too much time in the waiting room on that round.
It just didn't look like there was any game plan. We're praying for a mistake from the other team, and Stylum were not about to make the same mistakes that ARP were. So now you flip back on over to the defensive side and pray that you can execute here. Looks like a very aggressive A push, which is uncharacteristic from the offense that we saw from Stylum. They don't actually opt to full send it on through, but the nades do go over top. Not going to connect right here is what looked initially to be an aggressive play is actually going to stall out a bit here over on the A side. And this time Unraveled going to stay at home, so not going to overextend and throw all your resources at the A side. You stay at home and pressure onto Coldest to find those opening kills if they decide to peek out top winery.
Stylum are the ones with a bit of shaky leg at the moment. Half of the course for them, but they always seem to manage to pull the rabbit out of the hat in the closing moments of the search and destroy offense, so I'm not particularly concerned by them, especially because ARP have had a habit, particularly bad one in this search and destroy, of playing way too silly at moments. Opening snipe, but like we're opening snipes on towards a point.
Very popular playing with us and GDS. No.
I'm not going to take the chow. I'm just going to reposition towards the mid cart and weaken things on the defense. You are very, very fortunate here that Stylum haven't committed to that.
Some people are using it and some people are not.
35 seconds right here. Stylum are now the team that have to make a move. Shaggy was actually
they don't smoke or flash the bomb site trophies.
Be a perfect time and definitely gets eyes. Once again, why do you need to shell that? Give away a life right there. Cryzo's now got to back up.
Trophies or we don't see it in time.
Still 2 players here to defend. You gotta go fast. With only 15 seconds, a lot of high ground area to check. It's not gonna be easy. Unravel takes down one player, sliding out, takes down another. You gotta think that's most of the damage that you needed to do. Cryzo's there to reinforce, and they don't even have enough time to get the bomb down. It seems like ARP have done what
what is it?
To force some more
Trophy systems are blocking smokes, flashes.
Tell you what,
We might not see it in time.
If I'm Chagger in the middle of the map, I'm buying Unravel a premium ticket.
We
like,
don't know.
A massage or something. He needs something for sure because ARP almost just sold that round.
I mean, Counter-Strike is a different game. You don't have trophy systems in Counter-Strike.
17 kills in this search and destroy as we are deep into overtime now. First blood looking pretty good for Coldest. This is so much more persuasive from ARP. This is the decisive play I wanted to see. But once again, big problem for them has been clearing out this back high area. Yuhi now pushed out, so ARP finally solidifying control of the bomb site.
That gives
And plus,
so much
everybody has smokes and all stuff. Everybody can buy. You could buy multiple utilities. Yeah, like you could buy a nade, flash, smoke, and all that stuff in CS:GO. In COD Mobile, you're gonna have one nade and one trophy, flash, whatever, and all that stuff.
They're on the offensive side.
They're two different games,
heading
dude.
into a defense where when mistakes are not made, they have looked pretty strong. We'll see if they can find a way to close things out.
Like, see, like this guy has a nade and trophy, and his other team has a nade and trophy.
That's when things go their way. This is a heavy commitment, by the way, on towards A for ARP on the defense. They are fully focused on the fact that Unravel can solo
we
hold
do that. We throw the
speed
smoke in the sky and lands. And sometimes it hits his trophy, or sometimes it lands and we don't see it because we're not expected in it. But you know,
on the minimap from Klein, that didn't go the way he wanted whatsoever. Maybe the second one will. No trophy system going to stop it. Stylum is still committed to this one. Time really starting to be burned on the clock here.
like I throw a trophy to block their con. I throw a trophy here, or I throw a smoke here. It's gonna be blocked by that trophy, but that trophy disappeared because the guy who owns the trophy just died right now.
Now picked up the sniper. And looking to catch him off guard.
Yeah, the range in Counter-Strike is farther.
Unravel's gonna stay home. He's got 18 kills. He and Cryzo
33 combined have been so huge for this ARP squad, and he should have that opening information.
Oh, you're
So
talking about
see if
Flash?
they make the
Yeah,
round.
Flash
Finds one
and
on
Cisco.
Ecstasy,
And
that's all they
Cisco
need
has
from
a high
everything
range.
else here is
But the
bonus.
Flash in combo was kind of does have a high range too.
Down to that lower angle.
Dude,
And it's
anytime
a tough spot. He gets taken
anytime I
down, but
play
the
against like
information,
a
unfortunately, Klein Cena's there, able to find
is it
two.
a U team,
And now into a
I
2v3, they
had to
should
rock
have
survivor
that
training
real
to like
estate
survive the
take off. Now
flashes.
Shagamu makes her way through. She takes down one, spots out another. Fiction looking for the kill.
Okay.
It's gonna be there, and Stylum force more over.
Any players don't really use flashes like that like crazy.
I don't even know what to say. How does this keep on happening? AR had that in the bag.
Oh man,
I don't even know what to say. Oh, goodness me. All right, ARP, time to do it again. You sent it last time. Same kind of aggression off the rip this time. Nade through the cut. Will tag Unravel, so he'll have to stay out of the play for a moment here. Aggression, actually, I think, has been totally slowed up because of that. Stylum have been successful at the start of this round. Chrysler should have just got information. The call will be made now. Swish is going to try and act on that, but right out towards the open. Makes himself a little bit weak now. Trades in favor of ARP. One more player down low. You take that player out. Now all you've got to do is keep the players transitioning from B to A away from said site. Once again, the fundamentals of this offensive push is great from ARP.
it's a little bit shocking that it's taken this long for ARP to figure out that they're so much better whenever they play aggressive. Really, wherever they play, because when they play,
Now you're saying good stuff, but at the same time, it's hard mobile and like it gets blocked. Your smoke flash just sometimes gets blocked. Gets blocked by the trophy system and all that stuff.
The defense. So many mistakes and so many turns. Once again, the setups have not.
Yeah, there's so many nades, but people are behind boxes, cover, and some of them are blocked by trophies. All that stuff, dude.
Not able to get away, but the damage has been done. Swish. 1 HP right there is Graffito, and he's going to be able to find two. So now into a 2v2 we go. Bomb is still in hand for Stylum. Not going to opt to go for the plant yet. Information is there for ARP, but these two players are very split.
What? XT gets an easy dead from Unravel. Yuhi now 1 versus 2. Good for the first, not good for the second. Chryso will close out a very long search and destroy. It is finally over in overtime. Dude, I didn't know there were so many members of the Chuckle Brothers in a single game of Call of Duty. This entire game was wild, and for all the wrong reasons. Come on. It's just like so many times that search and destroy could have been over. I think we might be in for like the longest replay package in Call of Duty Mobile history here. I mean, I know there's been longer over time, but oh man, what a headache of a search and destroy there.
It really was.
So many different moments there. I mean, there's so many awesome moments, right? We have Unravel with that little 2Ps, the little collat early on in the game, but just both of these teams had their moments. So we're like, you know what? We're just going to turn our brains off for a moment and hope for the best.
It really just felt like every single round went down to like a 1v1, a 1v2, and it was enough to go down to 19, 20 rounds, whatever it was right there. Fortunately for ARP, they put themselves in a really good position to be up 2-0 in this series. And now heading into their control map pick, it is Crossfire. This is going to be new for a lot of you. It's new for me. I have not had the opportunity to commentate this yet, so I am very excited to see. I saw one map that Tectonic scrimmed on it and posted it on YouTube, and that's all the information that I have on it. So curious to see what these guys are bringing to the table, but based on the way that series has gone so far, we know at the bare minimum that Xylem's going to make it fun.
Yeah, I've seen this played twice in Europe, so your mileage may vary on how you want to take it because it was European Call of Duty Mobile. And it was actually the Special Suicide Squad, if I remember the name correctly, that managed to take it both times around. So they look like pretty proficient on crossfire control. And just from what I was seeing from them, it feels like there are real opportunities on crossfire control. As long as you can get out of the offensive spawn trap, because that's a big if. If you get put in that, there's no getting out of it. As long as you can get out of that, there's real opportunity on crossfires with all the different kind of lanes, all the different kind of crevices that you can sit in to really surprise teams on the defense and make serious gains on these offensive points, especially around the A zone. Like, it's actually, I mean, again, first impressions, it could well change, especially as we go further and further in these tournaments. We look at more kind of higher level Call of Duty Mobile. Maybe this isn't the case, but from first impressions of casting a couple of maps of crossfire control, it seems like there is a potential to get control of the A zone on the offense. Again, the kind of contingent here is that you can't get spawn trapped, because if you get spawn trapped, it's done. Like the static spawns are wild on this map.
Gonna be interesting to watch for sure, especially with the way that the snipers have dominated a lot of this series so far, especially in the search and destroy. I mean, Crossfire has always been a very heavily sniper dominated map, so expect to see those coming out naturally. Unravel with the way he was playing in that search and destroy. I'd be shocked if he wasn't rocking the sniper. We'll see what they can do here on the defensive side to get things.
Yo, why the map so?
The
map is so big and then the
to open up, and just like that, they've gotten onto that first offensive zone.
Serge, you can definitely get something going here on the offense. ARP showing out right now. Stylum, they surely haven't given up already. Cross being watched from Marvel. I don't think you can even get towards the point. Graffito will do so for one, but no more than that. A second tick through here. Chaga now the player to keep these guys on the defense at bay. Can anybody from Asylum touch in time? I don't think they're going to. A is done. ARP, that is a confident start with both Chaga on the R9 and the snipes coming out from Unravel. That's a great hold of that point.
When his shots are landing like that, there's not a whole lot that you can do, especially when he's in a heady, tucked away in the back of the map. There's no gun that's going to be able to take him off that position. So now the question is, can they find that real estate to push forward? And really, the big task has already been done, because
Unrival's been a camper right now.
Entire zone locked in.
Yeah, he's trying to move.
To do to get yourself, if it goes to around 5, to have that defense.
That's what Chad is saying. Chad is calling him Unrival a camper. Sure, for sure.
Now pushes up, and now they've got an opportunity to get some time here on B. And oh my gosh, do they drop by like flies? Stylum only 5 kills so far in this one.
Hello? I mean, surely this isn't an offensive win in round number 1 from ARP. It seems like they might not be that proficient at search and destroy, but their crossfire control might well be on lock at the moment. Second tick now through on towards B. Smoke down is going to give Stylum a way back in towards the point. Chagaboot will keep them contested for the moment. We will hit ourselves a moment.
Has he not died?
Here. 8 versus 21. Asylum definitely up against it. 90 seconds on the clock as well. So ARP will have a multitude of different hits, but they can't really afford to take their time. That's what I don't want to see them do in this situation. Just hit it, because you're in a 21v7. Like, at worst, you're going to trade.
What did the Martian need?
Yeah, and the only way that Stylum manages to win this is if they get far enough forward to actually spawn trap. Because if you're fighting 1v1s on this zone with the way this has gone so far, you don't stand a realistic chance. It's 4v18 right here. It's going to take a miracle.
I think this is the decider map. Nobody picked it. I'm pretty sure it's the decider map. I could be wrong.
I still don't think has died. He earns an EMP system right there. And now 2v17. It is an
I was going to say, Unrival hasn't died yet.
Win on Crossfire. That does not bode well for Stylum.
And there's trash. Hey, that's a Martian there, bro.
Brody. All right. We've lost Brody. I thought he was just shocked at what we had just witnessed. I wasn't sure what we were doing right there. We got the death
Brody, come back.
Coming out for Coldest right here. Seeing what he can find. One player right around the corner. The timing on that pre-fire could not have been worse, but fortunately for him,
Brody, come back
to do some of the remaining damage. Chagaboo, Hunter Killer, goes on out. And she's gonna slide through for another. The operators raining down kills, and that spawn trap, if it ensues, could get ugly. Kryzo only 3 kills on the board, but he's got a war machine to work with. Not gonna be able to find more than one. Still a glimmer of hope for Stylum. You got to keep in mind offense. Absolutely.
Unrival's playing for a noob.
Between the two here on Crossfire control. ARP still have a lot of work to do to take down these lives, but they've done a phenomenal job of mitigating any factor for the clock. And now only 40 seconds for Stylum to get back into this one. 3 kills do open up that B zone and should be able to get some early.
I get you're using a sniper, but you could go on B site. Oh, your teammate has this control. Go over here. Go towards A. Like, you're playing for a noob.
Great response from Kryzo is, once again, ARP very, very content to let them come to the B zone.
See if they can get them to over.
Oh, your teammate doesn't have B control? Oh, back up. Go back to that spot, you know? Like, it's common sense.
You got 4 ready to go.
But he's just trying to play for a new hardcore.
Especially given the position that you're in, you desperately need to win a round right here. So I would not be surprised to see those.
He's trying to look cool on camera.
He's gonna pop the Tempest right here. He's able to find 2, and that could be the opening that they're looking
get that, man.
for. Unravel is on 13. He might be working on a nuke. I didn't realize he still had not died yet. He's gonna go ahead and
because he's playing for it, dude.
right here. That gives them the information, and the streak will finally end. 9v9, Yuhi doing everything that he can to keep things locked down right here as the Pred drops from above. Or maybe that was just the Pred being earned. No, he does drop it. Not going to be able to get any kills off of it. And
let's see if his gameplay changes now since he died.
Scoping out the landscape and figuring out where those players were. Now a 3 life differential between the two, and Stylum.
Let's see his real gameplay now.
Win this one, but Swish
let's
shots
see.
Connect across the map. The 3 life advantage right here. Pred in hand. Stylum down now 2-5. It's going to take a miracle for them.
He got like
Too
13.
many high ground positions. 1 player
Oh wait,
left. Yuhi.
How many did he get? S&D? I think he got like 20 kills. 21. 22.
Shotgun is in hand, but he's shut down, and now ARP up 2-0.
Let me see.
Up 2-0 now here in the control. All right, I don't know if Lauren's going to cast, but otherwise I'm going to keep solo casting it right here. We got ARP making their way over toward that B, or rather A objective.
22.
We do see the death.
Yeah, 22.
And really, Stylum have not tried to do anything to prevent that opening.
Okay, he's still playing the same gameplay. Is this is actually how you play Crossfire? There's no way he plays Crossfire in competitive.
And finally a contest here as well, as Swish has 1 player to deal with. Maybe a little prone block right there. Couldn't quite handle the movement, and for the first time, Stylum.
Who plays at this? This is the last series
of hope here
for today.
I believe Brody is back. Brody is not back. Klein Cena locking down that A objective. Stylum trying to maintain this life lead as long as possible. Swish is going all the way into spawns, and now Brody's back.
I mean, if us pro players look how he's playing in Crossfire, I don't know, man.
I'm back. The internet tried to take me away from you. It's all good. Apparently, I missed ARP winning the 2nd round, mate.
You did. It was
so far this match. So far this whole match, all he's been doing is camping with a sniper in terrible spots and not moving at all. He was just straight up camping.
Take a 5 life lead here on the defensive side.
Like, there's better ways to play with a sniper, and you're like camping, and he was like playing for a nuke. Like what?
5 lives here in this game.
At least be like useful.
For them to do something in this situation. So the streak on,
yeah, but now that he's off the streak, he's actually like trying to help his team.
KRM plays potentially on the cards here on the other side. Graffito and Fiction just try and hold on towards the point. Swish has the coverage of the wall though, so at the very least we'll be able to take some time off the boards here. They might well be able to capture A. With the life differential though, I don't think it really matters all that much. Fiction and Yuji combined for 3. Yuji will actually find another one.
He's been camping Arrival. He was camping, yeah. Like the first 2 rounds because he was playing for a nuke. He was on 13.
Definitely much needed, but now you got to flip things around and do it on the offense. They've got 3 operators. Make it 4 operators charge. You got a streak to work with. Definitely not.
Like he was camping like hardcore, but I don't think he's doing it anymore because he died.
We've seen most of these offensive rounds go, and ARP very heavy presence.
Like he was down here for like minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes, and he was up here for like minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. So it's just like, no, you could move, you could jump down here, you could jump off the building, go towards B, look towards A, all that stuff. You could have done so much more, but you just like put camping like in one spot the whole time. But now he's moving.
This is actually pretty good from Stylum. Keeping themselves in the conversation here. Spawn trap not just yet. So it would have been nice if Swish could have found that kill on towards Yuji. It would have kept those 2 players in the spawn trap, but now Stylum are out.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is being useful.
They want the transition towards B as well.
He was useless for hella minutes.
owing to the fact that the death machine is in play. Still in play as well, it has to be said. ARP.
I don't care if you're a good sniper, at least be like useful. Useful. Don't be at a spot for like hella minutes and you're not even getting anything. No? I don't care who you are, you know?
Or ARP know about it. Unravel towards the spawn. Now starting to get these guys in the spawn trap with those static spawns. ARP now pushing the advantage, and they had lost a lot of map.
Yeah, he's lucky it's not like a pro team.
They continue to move forward. Now the streaks start to go out. That's going to be a double kill as Chagamu finds 2. Infiction trying to force his way forward, but they don't have a whole lot of lives to do it with.
Because people will take advantage of that and try to win the game, and then boom.
The end of the line for Stylum. Only 2 lives remain. They need a miracle.
Yeah, this map shouldn't be a calm map at all. I don't know why.
Alive in the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Yeah, congratulations to ARP. They will be moving forward.
Oh, my camera was top left all the time. I mean, it's Crossfire.
You
can
make these offensive rounds work here on control, on Crossfire. I mean, just forehead comment of the day. As long as you don't get spawn trap, right? It's that spawn trap once you're in that blender, as we saw in the final round. There is
this map shouldn't be a calm map.
It was a solid start.
French, but it is what it is.
Just completely dominant round number 1. They did everything right as far as keeping control in the middle of the map. I actually really love that setup. Both
imagine going to LAN for COD Mobile and you play this map. I'm like, bruh.
ARP is probably the best setup I've seen so far. An offense hit towards A. Granted, I haven't seen that much crossfire control this season.
That's cringe.
Still, phenomenal play from ARP. Of course, they just about won the defense in round number 2. Totally saw all of that. And in round number 3,
guys, I'm excited for LAN. Oh, you're playing Crossfire in your series. Just get me off. Get me off the stage, bro.
Looked really solid in the control and in the hard point. The search and destroy, we'll have a longer conversation about that once the broadcast ends.
Yeah, huge credit to Unravel. He had, what, I think a 13 gun spree, which is absolutely absurd at this level of competition to start things off right there. And that was a big reason they won that opening offensive round. So his addition has definitely factored in heavily to their ability to stay alive in this competition, and excited to see what they can do in the later rounds.
I should have stepped in. I'm sorry, Bobby. I should have done it. It was my moment.
All good. We held things down. We're chilling.
Great job on that final matchup there. And ARP in another 3-0 on the day, stay alive in that lower bracket. So commiserations to Stylum at the end of the day, but we must move forward with our challenge season here for North America, which means ARP get a little bit of a break now, because now that we have wrapped up Group B, we're going to go back to Group A. And technically Group B, because next time we see each other, guys, we're actually doing both of our upper bracket matches. So first, we will see what Group A brings to the table, and at that point, they will have had 2 weeks to reassess and get
Crossfire?
situated.
Just remove Crossfire regardless.
And then we'll go
Okay, what map or what mode it's good at. You remove it. It shouldn't even be a calm map in general.
Matchup plays out here, Brody.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. We're going to get a chance to see kind of a look at both of these groups, right? And I'm kind of looking forward to it because I think specifically for both.
Yeah, what's the next like setup thing? Like, what are we doing now?
Right, I think we kind of.
Or, like, what's the next group thing? Whatever. Like, I don't know what the wording is.
I think for all of
what's the next format? Who plays who? Who plays like what?
The way the dispatch of Rebels, I think Alex will definitely have to put their homework in to see if they can win that one, and then of course over towards Group B as well. That OnMythic versus NA Fall-Offs matchup, I think it's going to be interesting because it's going to come down to me for like who is actually how much of the NA Fall-Offs roster are we going to get in that matchup? Are we going to get them putting all the effort in, making sure they actually do the work on OnMythic? Because I think if they don't, OnMythic could actually catch them off guard.
And of course, that also means that the matches that we're watching next week are both qualification matches, so whoever wins will be snagging some of those spots in the challenge finals, and whichever team loses is not out of the competition. They'll just drop down into that lower bracket to be facing off against whichever of those respective teams is waiting for them down there, whether that is next.
You watch the EU finals tomorrow? Probably not.
That's going to be really, really fun because that means we're going to start pushing these teams through to prepare for April for our challenge finals. Bobby, fantastic job here today. Now that we've gone through our 3 matches, what are your thoughts after 2 weeks of NA?
I'm pleasantly surprised. I think we have a lot more contenders than I expected. I think especially on Mythic, I was not prepared for what they were bringing to the table, and I'm now
OnMythic is good
to see them go up against NA's fall-offs, because they once again are a bit of a question mark. How much work are they going to put in? They got the gun skill, but OnMythic looked very, very strong this week.
OnMythic is good.
I'm excited to see what they can do against the rest of the competition.
Suffice to say, for everybody at home, you need to be tuning back in next week to see what happens with these matchups. If you're unable to make it, or you missed most of today or last week, or you just want to keep up with everything that we've got going on throughout the year, follow us on social media, whether that's X, Insta, or Facebook. That way you can keep yourselves up to date with everything that we've got going on, whether that's here or in the other regions. Or you can join our Discord at discord.gg/Snapdragon Pro Series and hang out with our community and talk all
my
things
Discord, man.
COD Mobile. But believe it or not, we are done for today. We're done with week 2 of our challenge season in North America. I cannot believe how quickly it is flying by, but that means next time we see each other, we'll start qualifying teams.
I mean,
for
Susan's
challenge
qualify.
finals and things.
I
Only
don't know the
going to get
format, to be
more
honest, man.
exciting from
I'm gonna
here.
say
So
yeah.
Congratulations to ARP for staying alive in that lower bracket, and we'll see what our teams on the upper side in both groups are
Let me
able
open
to
my.
do
Let me
this time
open.
around. As always, a huge
Tasks.
thank you to Snapdragon Elite Gaming, DHL, and
Oh my
the
God,
USA
I just
Plus for
opened, like,
helping us make this whole thing
too many
possible.
tasks.
And thank you to all of you at home for hanging out with us and watching. We'll see you next week.
W's in chat. Okay, let me see if anybody's live real quick. If so, let me see. Nobody is live, so we are gonna call it just like that. But yeah, I don't have full cam in the source, so I can't really switch to a full cam. So we're gonna end it like this. But yeah, everybody have a great night, great afternoon, whatever. Who is the strongest team in the whole COD Mobile? I don't know, man. Some China team. I don't know. China. Go look at China region, whatever. But you guys have a great night. Make sure you guys eat, drink something, and yeah, man, have a fun, wonderful night, and hopefully see you guys tomorrow. And peace out.